Hello students, welcome to your own channel, Vedantu NEET English. This is Vasaraj sir, your biology master teacher. Good afternoon, each and every one of you. Good evening. So let me know in the chat, how is everyone doing? Doing great, amazing. Now students, today is a session from NCERT line by line. And for the very same reason, I want everyone to carry three main things to today's class. Okay, first thing which you need to carry is your NCERT book, so you can underline NCERT and also write on some few points. To write a few points, you need a pen. So first thing which you need to carry is your NCERT. Second, a pen, and the third thing which you need to carry is a water bottle. So let me know in the chat if all of you run and quickly grab those three things and come and sit with me for today's class and stick till the very end to finish a substantial amount of this chapter. Okay, so that is going to be our aim today, to finish half of the chapter with amazing energy, with solving PYQs, with amazing diagrams, as well as your images, which is out of NCERT also. Okay, now students, the chapter which we are dealing today, right? The chapter which we are dealing today is your organism and population. Now students, this is the first chapter of your ecology. All of you know. Now you might think, sir, ecology is very boring. Let me tell you, it's not. Ecology is actually very interesting if you have a right approach and right diagrams for it. Right? So this is going to be the most interesting class of ecology. So with that being said, students, do you know what is the weightage of this chapter? Generally speaking, we can get around 4 questions to 5 questions. Sometimes you find your NT is going crazy. In such cases, even 6 questions are possible. 6 questions are possible. So you cannot ignore such classes or such chapters. So with that being said, students, are you ready for today's class? Show some energy in the chat for today's class, because it's going to be ecology part 1, first chapter. Now, all of you are aware, right? Entire notes is always available on Telegram channel. You can scan the code, you can join the Telegram channel. Okay. Now students, organism and population chapter. This entire chapter falls under a category of biology. Can anyone tell me which is that branch of biology where we talk about this chapter? Is it microbiology? Is it biotech? Is it taxonomy? Tell me students, which is that branch of biology where we talk about the entire chapter? Can anyone tell me in the chat? That is the branch of biology which I'm talking about here, and this chapter belongs to is the ecology. It is the ecology, students. It belongs to ecology. Now, what is the meaning of ecology then? Okay, so I need volunteers from the chat. Anyone? Any volunteer? Okay, let's take Sweetie itself today. Let's take Sweetie. Okay, now here we have Sweetie. Sweetie is the organism number 1. Okay, I need one more person from the chat, all of you. Okay, let's take Rani. Okay, so we have organism number 2 here. Okay, organism number 2. This is your organism number 2. Now in ecology, what do you study? In ecology, we study that how the two organisms are interacting among each other. That is, biotic components are interacting among each other. Yes, they're interacting. Now students, does the Sweetie and Ravindrani, do they feel thirsty after talking a lot? Yes, sir. So in this particular structure, we also add certain types of abiotic factors such as your hydrosphere. Okay, hydrosphere is here. Okay, do they need a land to walk? Okay, I will add lithosphere here. Lithosphere. Now, do they need oxygen or the atmosphere? Yes, they need atmosphere here. Atmosphere. So what is ecology, students? Ecology is a branch of biology. It is a branch of biology that deals with interaction among living things and also interaction among non-living things. That is your abiotic components. Abiotic components. This right here is your ecology. This right here is the ecology. That is interaction among each other, biotic components. At the same time, biotic components are also interacting with the other components. Did all of you understand? Not tell me, students. Did all of you understand what exactly you study in ecology. Okay, so remember this simple diagram of ecology every single time you want to remember what exactly is ecology. So with that being said, students, with that being said, can we start reading? Now, every single time I am reading, I want you to read with me. So all of us are on the same boat. Okay, so all of you read with me. Anywhere, any doubt, you can shoot in the chat and I will clear it for you. Okay, so with that being said, students, let's start with the first line of NCERT. Okay, our living world is a fascinatingly diverse and amazing complex. All of you agree? It is very complex. We have all the way from the microorganisms to a large trees and large animals. Okay, we can try to understand its complexity by investigating process at various level of biological organization. So we have a biological organization here. Macromolecules, cells, tissue, organ, individual organisms, population, communities, and ecosystem and biomes. Little complex, no? Let's write it down. Little complex to understand, right? Let's write it down. The first one is the macromolecules. Yes or no? It is the macromolecules. Students, which chapter do you study this? Which chapter do you study macromolecules in? Macro, in the chat. Okay. Now from macromolecules, we come to cell level. Then we come to your tissue level. Okay. Tissues. After tissues, we have the organ levels. Organ. After organ, we have the organ system. Yes or no? We have the individual organisms. Okay. We have the organism here. We have the organisms. After that, we have population. We have the population after that. Population. After population, we have the communities. We have the communities. Communities. After communities, we have the ecosystem. Ecosystem. Okay. We have the ecosystem after that. Ecosystem. After ecosystem, we have the biomes. See, we have the biomes. Okay. Biomes. Students, I want everyone to write down in your NCERT itself like this. Next your NCERT, write down. It's very beneficial like that. Now, students, do you think there is a next level to this? Yes, there is. That is your biosphere. That is your biosphere. This is your entire different types of organization in your environment. Now, students, understand the simple thing here. All of you look very carefully. All of you look at here. Until your from macromolecules till organism, till here, aren't we talking about at individual level? Yes or no? Till here, we are talking about individual level. For example, I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about you till here. For example, I'm talking about Sony. I'm talking about Sneha. I'm talking about Power. I'm talking about Divya till here. But as soon as we come to communities, and population, as soon as we come to population, it becomes a group. It becomes a group here. Community is also a group. Ecosystem is a group. Biomes is a group, and biosphere is the entire earth. So understand, till here we're talking about individual. From here it is a group. Now students, there's a very famous question. What is a population? What is a population? Okay, very simple, very simple. Understand, every single time I am mentioning population, every single time I'm mentioning population, am I talking about a single organism or a single species or multiple species? Can anyone tell me in the chat? Every single time I'm talking about population, I am talking about a single species. Students, remember that. Single species. Single species. When I say about population, I'm talking about only tiger, only lion, only elephant, only humans. Population is a group of individuals belonging to same species. One single species. That is your population. And students, what is the chapter name? What is the chapter name, students? Chapter name is called as Organism and Population. So this entire classification, out of this entire classification, we will be focusing on the organism and population. This right here is this chapter. Now, what is the next chapter, students? What is the next chapter called as? The next chapter is called as ecosystem. Ecosystem, right here. What is the next chapter called as? Conservation. So we conserve each and every aspect in the last chapter. So all of you getting a feel now? What is the different types of classification? Now what exactly happens in the community, students? In the case of communities, we have a group of population. For example, in a community, for example, a large community is there. In that large community, we can have a deer, we can have a zebra, we can have a lion. Yes or no? We can have a lion. So in the case of community, it is a group of different types of population. Now, till now, did you notice? We're only talking about biotic components. Yes or no? All of you tell me. Till now, we're only talking about biotic components. Okay. As soon as we come to ecosystem, we talk about biotic as well as abiotic. So what is an ecosystem? Ecosystem consists of biotic components and abiotic components, and this is what you will learn in that chapter. Amazingly clear it is becoming now. Okay, so ecosystem, biomes. In India, we have different type of biomes. You will learn that also. Biomes is nothing but a group of ecosystem, and then we have biosphere. If this is clear to all of you, quickly fire emoji in the chat will tell me that you understood everything, all of you. Okay. Now, at any level of biological organization, we can ask two types of question. Let's ask. NCERT is asking you, all of you. Okay. For example, when we hear the bulbul singing in the early morning, I have never heard, but if you have heard, tell me. Okay. Singing early morning in the garden, we ask, how does the bird sing? Right. You might ask, how does the bird sing? For example, I am able to talk to you because of my voice box larynx. Similarly, in the case of birds, we have pharynx, the different types of voice box in the case of your birds. Yes or no? That is the how. But the question is, why is the stupid bird singing? I am trying to sleep here on a Sunday night. Why is that bird singing in the garden and waking me up? Why? Why is a good question, no? See, this how question we can explain with the help of normal science. Your animal tissues, or it could be your animal kingdom chapter you can study. But how? There. But why is it doing? This chapter you learn that. Why is it doing? Okay. The how type questions seek the mechanism behind, that is the voice box, the process, while they why type questions seek the significance of the process. Why is it doing? Tell me, students, how are you listening to my class now? Tell me, how are you listening to my class? With your ears, with your eyes. You can see me. Ears, you can listen to me with the help of laptop. But why are you listening to my class? Tell me, students. Why? Because you'll get a chocolate at the end of it? No. Why are you listening to my class? Because you will get some knowledge, and that knowledge will help you to become a doctor. Clear NEET examination. That is the why question. Okay, that is the why question. While the why question seek the significance of the process. For the first question in an example, the answer might be in the terms of operation of voice box and vibrating bones in the bird. Whereas the second question, the answer may be lie in the bird's need to communicate. For example, the bird is singing in the morning. Who knows? It might be telling some gossip to the second friend. Like, did you know this happened? Who knows? We can't tell. Or it might be doing a mating call. Yes or no? Mating call. Right. When you observe nature around you with a scientific frame of mind, you will certainly come up with many interacting questions of both types. Okay, why and how. First paragraph done. See here. We start with here directly starting with the community. See, organism level, population. See, in population is a group, community, ecosystem, biome, and biosphere. Okay. So you have already learned in the previous classes that ecology is a subject which studies the interaction among the organisms. Both of us are interacting, yes or no, and between the organisms and physical abiotic environment. I am drinking water, I am breathing air, I am standing on the ground, interacting with non-abiotic factors. Okay, ecology is basically concerned with 4 levels of biological organization. See, in ecology, you need 4 levels. Okay, that is your organism level, population, communities, and biomes. So this is what you study in ecology. This part you study in your other chapters, biomolecules, cell chapter, tissue chapter, your animal physiology, plant physiology till here. But from organism level, this chapter starts. Students, this is such a basic thing. If you skip this right, you will not get the feel of the chapter. Like, why are we doing this chapter? Now, can we actually start the chapter now? This was just the introduction. Any doubt in the introduction, anyone? Any doubt in the introduction? Yes? Birds are singers, huh? Birds are singers only. Okay? Tomorrow morning you tell me if someone is singing in your house. Okay? Now, that was the introduction to the chapter. I believe power pack introduction has been done now. All of you are aware what you're trying to study in ecology. Organism level, population level, mainly this chapter. Okay? Now, organism and its environment. Beautiful topic. Let's start with the same Josh. Very easy. Line by line, we'll read. All of you, please keep your NCERT next to you. I'm telling you. Keep your NCERT next to you. Underline the lines which I'm telling you. Write down the points I'm telling you. Every single time. Okay? Now, ecology at organism level is essentially physiological ecology. Okay? Physiological ecology, which tries to understand how different organisms are adapted to their environment. For example, how am I adapted here? How is my dog adapting to my environment? How is the lizard adapting to the environment? How are the birds adapting to the environment? Okay, in terms of not only survival but also reproduction. You may have learnt in the earlier classes how the rotation of our planet around the sun and tilt of its axis causes annual variation, obviously. For example, if this is our Mother Earth, okay, this is our Mother Earth. The Mother Earth is rotating on its axis day and night. It is rotating around the sun, summer season, winter season. Yes. Okay. Resulting in the distinct seasons. These variation together with annual variation in precipitation. Students, can anyone tell me what is precipitation? Anyone? Can anyone tell me? All of you are very smart. No, English people. English people in the chat, tell me what is precipitation? Anyone? Quickly before I show you the actual line. Anyone, what is precipitation? Is it just water? Is it just rain? Tell me what is precipitation? Anyone? Students, understand. Precipitation is nothing but, remember, precipitation includes both rain and snow. Both rain and snow, not only just rain. Okay, remember that. Account for the formation of the major biomes such as desert, rainforest and tundra. Basically, depending upon the precipitation, we have different types of biomes. Now tell me students, out of desert, rainforest and tundra, where do you think we get highest precipitation? Tell me, where do you think you get the highest amount of precipitation? Obviously, you tell me rainforest. Okay. Out of these three, where do you think we get the least precipitation? Almost tundra and desert are competition there. Tundra, desert mainly very less type of rainfall there. Precipitation mainly. Okay. Now here is your okay. All of you can see this. Here is the different types of biomes given here. All of you can see here. Now I will show you this diagram. Let's do the diagram first of all. Let's do the diagram here. Okay, let's do the diagram. All of you can see right now. Here we have the mean annual precipitation. Okay, here we have mean annual precipitation is given here. Here we have the lowest. Here we have the highest. Okay. Now if you can see the mean annual precipitation, where do you think we get the, this is the temperature. Now students, where do you think we get the least precipitation? Almost near the Arctic region and also the deserts. Almost deserts. I think desert is the lowest. Second we have the Arctic or alpine tundra. Okay. Then can you see here? Then we have the grasslands here, which are somewhere around 100. Highest is around tropical rainforest as highest precipitation. Okay. Then we have temperate and coniferous forest. At the same time, can you tell me which has the highest temperature? Tell me which has the highest temperature? And let me tell you, this is old NCERT. and this is in your syllabus. This is in your syllabus. So if you do not have this, let me know in the comment section. I will send a PDF copy of the old NCERT in Telegram channel today only. This is in your syllabus. If you open your syllabus of last year, it says organism and environment is a major part. You cannot skip it. Okay, it is there in your syllabus. Okay. So highest temperature is almost desert, but here they show you grasslands. Can you see? Grasslands are shown highest temperature. Then we have desert. Okay. So this variation can happen. Variation can happen in the precipitation as well as your temperature. Okay. Regional and local variation within each biome leads to the formation of the wide variety of habitats. Heavy English, no? I'll tell you. What is the meaning? What is the meaning? I'll tell you. Okay. For example, how many of you stay in a locality which has a lot of trees? Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Tell me. All of you stay in some locality. How many of you in your locality we have very high number of plants? Let's take one example. Let's take Dream. Dream has a lot of trees near his house or her house. Can't tell. Okay. Lot of house in your house. Lot of trees are there. So temperature will be a little cooler. Temperature will be a little cooler there. Cooler temperature. At the same time, Sumi is around somewhere where there is no trees only. There is no trees. So there is very high temperature there. So local variation. Can you see? Local variation. Now what about regional variation? I am in Bangalore. You are in, tell me where you from. Where you from, students? Tell me. Regionally, our locations are different. Different types of temperature. For example, within Bangalore itself, there is an industrial area and there is a normal area, okay, residential area. In residential area, it's a little bit colder. In industrial areas, it is very high temperature because no trees, only smoke. Yes or no? So local and regional variations within a biome can lead to different type of variations. Okay. Major biomes of India are shown in the figure. Major biomes of India. India is given here. Okay. I think we skipped on slide. No, we did not. Okay, students. Now, major biomes of India are shown in the figure. Okay. On the planet Earth, life exists not just in a few favorable habitats, but even in the extreme and harsh conditions. Now, that reminds me. There is some bacteria now, students, some bacteria under kingdom Monera, which is surviving in harsh condition. What do you call that bacteria, students? Tell me. If you all of you know the chapter biological classification, under kingdom Monera, there is one organism which can survive in extreme harsh condition. Tell me what is that? Tell me what is that, all of you, quickly. Okay. Scorching Rajasthan desert also we have people are staying. Perpetually rain-soaked Meghalaya's people are staying. Deep ocean trenches where people are not staying. Okay. But organisms are staying. Torrential streams, that is basically fast streams. Okay. Permafrost polar regions. The permafrost polar regions are basically this frozen soil. Okay, frozen soil. High mountain tops, boiling or thermal springs, and stinking compost pits, to name a few. Everywhere we find organisms. Even in your body also. Even inside your gut. Even inside your gut, there are millions of bacteria surviving. Especially your archaebacteria. One resilient that guy is. Wherever you go, you'll find. You can find in deep ocean trenches, anywhere archaebacteria. Okay, anywhere you can find the archaebacteria. See, students, these are different types of your biomes. First one is your tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest. Next one is deciduous forest. Does anyone know what is the difference between tropical and deciduous? Can anyone tell me in the chat? Geography, class 10th SST chapter. Deciduous forest. Okay. Then we have your deserts. Okay. Then we have the sea coast. Nice sea coast. Can you see the sea here? Blue. Sea coast. Students, the difference is very simple. In the case of tropical forest, it is always green. It's always green. It's evergreen forest. But at the same time, deciduous forest is very simple to understand. In the case of deciduous forest, all the trees will undergo a change. That is, once a year, annually all the trees will completely lose the leaf to reduce the transpiration loss. That happens in the case of deciduous forest where all the leaves fall off. Autumn season, you might have seen. Autumn season. Okay, now you know. You don't have to buy hard anything. Understand? Okay, so in deciduous, annually the plants will lose all the leaf. Here, evergreen, always green it is. Okay. Now students, next thing you'll understand here. What are the key elements that lead to the much variation in the physical and chemical conditions of different habitat? The most important ones are temperature, water, light, and soil. All the different factors are there. Okay, temperature. We must remember that physico-chemical abiotic components alone do not characterize the habitat of an organism completely. The habitat includes biotic components, also pathogens, parasites, predators, competitors, and everything. I'll give you a simple example. All of you look around your house, look around your room only. In corner of the room, you will see some spiders. In the floor, you will see some rat and ants. If you have a rat as there, good. If rat is not there, very good even, very good. Okay. There is ants. There is a cockroach under the bed. So all the biotic components are also part of your ecosystem. Okay. We must remember that. Okay, done. Okay. Which interact constantly. We assume that over a period of time, organisms had natural selection, evolved adaptations to optimize the survival and reproduction and habitat. Okay. Now students, here we term about this one small term here called as niche. You call it niche, something, whatever you call it. I call it niche. Okay, niche. Now what is this niche? Okay, this student, this right here is your habitat. This is your habitat, and this right here is a niche. What is a niche? What is a niche, students? What is a niche? Understand, all of you. Understand what exactly is a niche, all of you. Those of you know, very good. Those of you don't know, understand what is a niche or niche, whatever you can call it. I call it niche. Okay, what is a niche? For example, I am a teacher. Yes. So where do I live? I live in my house. Where do I work? At the office. So where I survive, where I live is my habitat. Where I work is my niche. Simple example, one more. All of you live in your house. Yes. You go to school or college. That becomes your niche. Basically, the functional role becomes a niche, and where you live becomes a habitat. Where you live becomes a habitat. The niche becomes a job. Niche is basically the job. I'll give you one simple example. Understand? One more example. For example, let's say tiger. Let's take tiger. Okay. Tiger or lion. Okay. Let's say tiger or lion. Anything. Tiger or lion we can take. Okay. Tell me, where does it stay? Where does it? Tell me. Where does it stay? It stays in the forest. Okay. So habitat becomes the forest or den. What do you call it? Habitat becomes the den or the forest. Okay. Okay. Then what is a niche here? Niche is the job here. Niche is the job. Now, what do you think lion's job is? To work in the front of computer. Huh? What is the lion's job? Going to the movies, huh? Going and troubling the sister, brother. Tell me, studying for NEET examination? No. Tell me, what is the work of a tiger and lion then? What is the work of a tiger or lion? Tell me. Obviously, the main work is it's an apex hunter. It's an apex hunter. So hunting is the job. Other than hunting, it also helps in control the population. Control the population of the herbivores. Yes. Control the population of herbivores. Yes or no? Herbivores. It helps in maintaining. The food web or food chain. Yes. So do you think tiger is not doing or lion is not doing any work? It is doing work. Just you do not know. It has a lot of work also. It doesn't have a free time like you. Okay, so it has a lot of work. It has a lot of work. So all of you can understand the difference between habitat and niche. One example is given here. All of you can see here. See here. Niche of a tadpole and niche of an adult frog. Niche of a tadpole is to swim around and eat zooplanktons. Here the work is eating the insects, but habitat is same. Habitat is same. Niche is different. Niche is different. Yes or no? Done? So all of you understand the work, it is a niche and the difference between a habitat now. Yes or no? All of you understand? Now, different types of abiotic factors we will learn now. Different types of abiotic factors. Now I'll give you, all of you, I'll give you 30 seconds, drink a lot of water, quickly. Water break. All of you drink some water. Every 30 minutes we'll take one water break. 30 seconds water break. Done. Water break done. Water break done, students. Every 30 minutes we'll take one small water break. So all of you can drink some water, relax. If you're feeling sleepy, water will help you wake it up. Or take the water, put on your face only. Okay. You'll wake up probably. Okay. So that was your different types of habitat and niche. Next is temperature. Okay. Now there are different abiotic factors which influence the variations in the biome. Okay. First one is temperature. Let's understand how does the temperature play a role now. How does the temperature play a role? Every 30 minutes, seconds I told, 30 minutes. Small mistakes here and there, human error. Okay. Now, temperature is the most ecologically relevant environmental factor. Okay, if you say so, agree. If you are aware that average temperature on the land varies seasonally, obviously summer it is hot, winter it's very cold. There's no science there. Okay. Now, decreases progressively from the equator to the pole and from the plains to the mountains. Understand. This is your earth. Oh, this is the earth. This middle part is called as what? Middle part is called as equator. Okay. As we go away from the equator, towards the poles, the temperature is decreasing. As we go away from the poles. That is what they're telling here. Okay. Very simple. Can you see here? See, decrease progressively from the equator towards the poles, and from the plains or mountains, same thing happens. It ranges from the sub-zero level to in the polar regions, sub-zero, almost 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, less than 0, and high altitude about 50 to more than 50 degrees Celsius also in some cases. More than 50 degrees Celsius in many cases. Okay, in tropical deserts in summer. There are, however, unique habitats such as thermal springs and deep sea hydrothermal vents where average temperature exceeds over 100 degrees Celsius. It is possible. And this reminds me, students, where is that line? Thermal springs. Can anyone give me an example of an organism which survives in the thermal springs? Anyone? It is an enzyme, it's not enzyme. Oops. Answer I told you almost. It is an organism which is used to obtain something called as Taq polymerase. Obtain to help us Taq polymerase. Can anyone tell me? Taq polymerase we obtain from here. We obtain Taq polymerase from here. Tell me the name of the organism, all of you. Okay. It is general knowledge that mango trees do not grow and cannot grow in temperate countries like Canada and Germany. Obviously, you will never see. That is, in temperate regions like your Canada and Germany, mango you will not see. You will see mangoes only in our country, mainly tropical country almost. Yes or no? Yes. Thermus aquaticus, exactly, Sneha. Thermus aquaticus. Snow leopards are not found in Kerala. Obviously, it is found in the snow regions. Doesn't make sense. Students, tell me, will you imagine tomorrow if you go out of your house and you see one penguin out of your house? Will you be surprised or not? Yes. If you see one pigeon or crow, you're like, pigeon, crow, very normal. But if you see a penguin out of your house, you'll freak out. Something bad has happened actually. If you see a penguin outside your house. So it is not possible to see certain organisms and certain habitat. Not possible. Okay. And tuna fish are rarely caught beyond a tropical We are on tropical latitudes in the ocean. You can readily appreciate the significance of temperature in living organisms when we realize that it affects the kinetics of the enzymes also. Now, what is the meaning of kinetics of enzyme here? If you remember, students, what is enzymes made up of? Technically speaking, enzymes are made up of, generally, apart from ribozymes, it is made up of proteins. Now, what will happen if the temperature increases? All the protein will get denatured and enzymes cannot work. At the same time, if enzymes temperature go low, they'll again become frozen. Enzymes cannot work again. So enzymes basically requirement inside the body also requires a proper temperature to work. Yes or no? You might have seen this diagram, right? In biomolecules. This diagram, have you seen this diagram in biomolecules? Yes or no? Something called as optimum temperature. Only at optimum temperature you think it will work properly, all the enzymes will work properly. You remember? Somewhere you remember? This much you remember? Okay. Now students, and though it is based on metabolism, activity and other physiological functions of organism, a few organisms can tolerate and thrive in wide range of temperature. Students, one amazing line coming up called as your eurythermal. There is this. Understand students, there is something called as eurythermal. Eurythermal can tolerate wide range of temperature. It can eurythermal. Yes. Wide range of temperature. Wide range of temperature it can tolerate. Then there is something called as stenothermal. Steno means narrow. It cannot adjust. Stenothermal cannot adjust only. Narrow range of tolerance. It cannot tolerate. So eurythermal can tolerate a wide range, while your stenothermal cannot tolerate. It's like very sensitive piece. Small touch you do, like small change in temperature, gone. Small change in temperature, gone case. Okay. They're called as eurythermal. They're called as eurythermal. But a vast majority of that restrict to a narrow range of temperature, that is called as stenothermal. Stenothermal narrow. Eurythermal is going to be very wide. The levels of thermal tolerance of the different species determine to a large extent of their geographical distribution. Obviously, students, if an organism can tolerate a wide range of temperature, it can be spread very wide. For example, do you see polar bears out of your polar regions? Do you see polar bears in the normal jungle? You'll never see. Polar bears are very sensitive. Change in temperature, say change in glaciers melting, they cannot survive. Whereas your normal brown bear, grizzly bears, they'll survive at a wide range of temperatures. Okay. Now, in recent years, there has been a growing concern about the gradual increasing temperature, that is global warming is happening. See, this is your tube worms in the hydrothermal vents. See here, eurythermal. Wide range of tolerance, mammals, mostly mammals and aves. Well, your reptiles and your can you see this polar bear are stenothermal in general. Okay. Now that was temperature. So all of you understand the amazing importance of temperature in our body and wide variety of tolerances and everything. Now let's go to water. Tell me, students, water is without? Can you imagine a world without water? Can you imagine our earth without water? For example, can you imagine a class without water break? Not possible. Water is very important for our body. Even not only for drinking purposes, even for an enzyme function to happen, it needs an aqueous medium. Yes or no? Yes. So you cannot imagine a world without water. Water is so important. So important. Okay. Next to temperature, water is the most important factor influencing the life of organisms. In fact, life on Earth originated in water. The prebiotic soup evolution chapter, okay, Haydn soup, is unsustainable without water. It is availability of so limited in desert that only special adaptations make it possible to live there. Obviously, cactus, adaptation, right? So without water, it's very difficult. So desert animals undergo adaptation for water. Okay. The productivity and distribution of plants is also heavily dependent on the water. Tropical regions, heavy rainfall, more water. Polar regions, less water, less plants. Okay. You might think that organisms living in the ocean, lake and river should not face any water problems. You might think no. Fish is in water. It has a lot of water. It doesn't need any more water, but that is not the case. Why? Quality matters. Students, quality matters. Understand. Now students, all of you drink water in the house. If I bring a water which is extremely salty, will you drink it? Like, no sir, what is this? Very salty this water is, I cannot drink it. At the same time, I'll give you a borewell water, and I'll give you Bisleri water. You'll choose Bisleri water. Okay. What if I give you sparkling water? Okay, sparkling water if I give you, like sparkling water is nice, even though it is little, but you'll choose a nice quality of water. Yes. Now same thing, fish also a lot of demand. The fish has a lot of demand. Okay, student, this fish is like I don't want low quality water. I want only high quality water which I can drink nicely. So even though it is completely surrounded by water, the fish, it needs high quality water. Okay, very big demand it is. Okay. Now, but it is not true. For aquatic organisms, the quality, that is chemical composition, pH of water becomes important. See, they need more quality. Okay, quality. Okay. Now, becomes important. The salt concentration measured as salinity in parts per million. See, salinity, parts per million. So, if the water is too salty, you cannot drink it. It has to be in a very moderate range. For example, they've given you here. It is less than 5 in inland water, which we drink, okay, river, 30 to 35 in your sea, and more than 100 in some hypersaline lagoons. Can you see? In inland water, it is less than 5, which you normally drink. Sea salt concentration is around 30 to 35. Lagoons is around more than 100. So extremely salty in the case of lagoons. Okay. Some organisms, see again same. Tell me students, what could be the meaning of urea-halide now? What could be the meaning of urea-halide? Urea-halide will have a wide range of salt tolerance. Now think logically, what could be sterohalide or stenohalide? What could be stenohalide? Stenohalide is very sensitive. And it can show a very narrow range of salt tolerance. Very easy to understand. Okay. Now many freshwater animals cannot live for long in the sea water and vice versa. For example, you take a freshwater fish, leave it in water, it will die. Take a seawater fish, put it in fresh water, it will die. So every organism has a special requirement. Okay, Okay. Now students, see your urea-halide, salmon, wide range of tolerance. Goldfish, put this goldfish in salt water 5 minutes students or 10 minutes. If it is very high willpower, even more. Goldfish will not survive in your salt water. So it needs nice, one bowl you need, one motor you add, oxygen you supply continuously. Goldfish will survive. Okay, but salmon, you see, it's amazing. Whatever you throw at it, chemicals you throw at it will survive in chemicals. Toxic fish will survive. Okay, be like salmon. Okay, urea-halide. Okay, that was your salt concentration. Okay, now students, let's go to the light now. Okay, light is very important. Now tell me students, without light can you even see me? Not possible. I'll become completely black. So light is very important, not just for seeing for other activities also. Now we will understand what is the importance of light. Can we start? Yes or no? Light. Okay. Now, since plants produce food through photosynthesis, a process which is only possible when the sunlight is available as a source of energy. Now, students, tell me, can the world survive without light now? Tell me, without light, can plants even make photosynthesis? Can the plants produce the food? Not possible. Light becomes very important. Solar energy becomes very important. The photons become very important. Yes. Now, quickly understand the importance of light for living organisms, particularly autotrophs, plants. Many species of small plants, herbs and shrubs. All of you know, no? All of you know herbs and shrubs? The oregano, you add, no? That one. Growing in the forest are adapted to photosynthesis optimally under very low light condition. What is the meaning of that? Understand. Meaning is very simple, students. See, if this is a big tree, here we have a big tree. Here we have a big tree. Okay, we have big trees here. Okay. Now here sunlight is falling. Now sometimes what happens is very rarely sunlight will coming at the bottom. Very rarely the sunlight will come at the bottom. Why? Because the canopy of the trees is completely covering the sun. So at the same time, imagine a small trees here growing here. Small trees here. Small herbs and shrubs. This small herbs and shrubs right here. The small herbs and shrubs has adapted to a condition where they can survive in low light. Like we will adjust. We will adjust nicely. You don't have to trouble. We will not trouble you. We will adjust here. So adjusting people are there. Okay. See here. Growing the forests are adapted to photosynthesize optimally under very low light conditions because they are constantly overshadowed by the tall canopy trees. Many trees are also dependent on sunlight to meet their photoperiodic requirements for flowering. What is this? Students, all of you remember, right? The chapter from your plant growth. Initially it was there. I should teach before, but not right now. There is something called as photoperiodism. That is long day plants, short day plants, day neutral plants. Based on the intensity and the duration of light, we used to have different types of plants. And the flowering used to happen depending upon the light duration. Okay. Now, for many animals too, light is important for as they use for diurnal and seasonal variation in the light intensities and duration of photoperiods as a cue for timing their forage. Forage means eating. For example, I'll tell you, I have a dog in my house. His name is Cash. If I say Cash, he'll start barking now. Okay, I have a dog in my house. I don't know how he gets to know, students. Some circadian rhythm he has. Every single morning, 10 o'clock, he needs breakfast. 1 minute, if it goes from here to here, mentally becomes. He'll start jumping in the house, start breaking things. So he knows, based on light intensity also, he knows that it is my eating time. Correctly at 3 p.m., second food, second lunch. Okay. Between the snacks break also in the middle. Snacks break. Now correctly at, what's the time right now? I don't have my watch. So correctly at 10 o'clock, start barking again. He's like, where are you? Where is my food? 10 o'clock night exactly he knows that I need food. So based on the light, okay, based on light duration and circadian rhythm, he is able to eat food. And his name is Cash, not money. His name is Cash. My dog's name is only Cash. Okay. Very smart, no? Yes. Okay. My dog name is Preeti. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, Cash doesn't, his only concern is food, students. Only concern in the world is food. Nothing else matters in the world. Okay. Now, next, the availability of, okay, done, right? Availability of light on the land is closely linked with that of the temperature, obviously, since the sun is the source of both. Now, in deep underground oceans, okay, more than 500 meters in the oceans, the environment is perpetually dark and inhabitants are not aware of the existence of celestial source of sun. For example, in underground, there may be certain organisms like this. They have no idea till now that there is something called as a sun. Imagine, they did not know there is a sun. They did not know the existence of light only. Their whole life is in darkness. Okay, whole life is in darkness. Okay. Yeah, Parvati, I'll tell you. Okay. The spectral quality of the solar radiation is also important for life. Obviously, you cannot take entire solar radiation. Students, for example, Parvati is going out in the sun. Okay, she'll apply everywhere sunscreen. Without sunscreen, she'll not go out. Why? Because of UV radiation. Now tell me what will happen if you go stand in the sun like this for 10 hours. Very high chance that you will get some form of radiation. Yes or no? So it is very difficult to absorb every single spectrum. So you have to very carefully do it. Everything is, the entire sunlight is very harmful. Okay. Now, the UV components of the spectrum is harmful to many organisms, while not all the color components of the visible spectrum are available for marine plants living. Okay, see, this is the plants, photoperiodism in plants. Okay. Now, next one is soil. Next one is soil. Okay, will become cola, will become coal. Okay. Okay, will become coal. Charcoal black will become nice. Friends, it is good. It's good because melanin will produce a lot and you'll fight. Okay. So next thing is called as soil. Can we start soil? Students, tell me. This chapter is very cute chapter, no? Very cute, easy chapter, no? Nothing is very difficult. And let me tell you, the best way to study this chapter is line by line. Always line by line. Because any line they can ask you a question. From anywhere a question can come. Okay. Now students, soil. The nature and the property of soil in different places vary. Obviously. For example, near my house I have normal red soil I have. Near your house, you might have a different type of soil. If you go to the beach, beach soil is different. If you go near volcanic regions, we have black soil. Yes or no? So, soil can vary based on the locations. Okay, or based on how they are formed. Okay. Whether the soil is transported or sedimentary and how the soil is developed occurred, various characteristics of soil such as soil composition can be changed. That is meaning of how is the soil, what is the soil made up of, the nutrients in the soil, the grain size. Now what is the grain size here? For example, some grain size are very large grains, small grains. Okay. And aggregation determines the percolation water holding capacity. Now what is percolation water holding capacity? Percolation means flow of water. For example, see this, all of you see this. For example, I have a beaker here. I will add a conical flask here and I will add a filter paper here, Now here in this I will add a lot of soil. I will add soil here. Okay, soil. Now into this soil I'm adding some water. I'm adding some water on top of it. Now some amount of soil can hold water. Your clay type of soil which can hold a lot of water. But if it is sandy soil, most of the water will come down. Yes, most of the water will flow down. So that is called as water holding capacity or percolation. Percolation means flow of water. Okay. Capacity of soil. These characteristics along with the parameters such as your pH, mineral composition and topography determine large extent of vegetation in an area, obviously. If there is a good soil, high vegetation. Bad soil, less vegetation. Okay. This in turn dictates the type of animals that are supported also. Similarly, in aquatic environment, sediment characteristics often determine the type of benthic animals that can thrive there. That is, even in the underwater oceans, that soil type also becomes very important. Benthic means below. Okay. Now students, see. Climate can influence the soil. Animals can influence soil. What is the parent material? Topography and everything. How much of time is given? Everything. This is the benthic organisms. I don't even know what is this. What is this? It looks like something from Stranger Things. What is this? Okay, this looks a little concerning. I think it is some form of animal. I have to ask Gopika ma'am. Is it venom? It looks like from venom or something. Okay, here I think I can know this, but rest of things little looks very scary. Okay, I can see a sea urchin here. Sea urchin. I don't know what it is, friends. Something weird, little weird it is. Okay, so that was your basically different types of abiotic factors. Okay, soil, water, temperature, light. Everything done. Okay, everything is done. What is that? Okay, so with that being said, students, first part is done. We will take one more water break now. I'll give you 30 seconds. Drink some water. Go. Quickly, water break. I know it is benthic organism, but I don't know what is that organism. It looks so weird and scary at the same time. Okay. All of you drink some water quickly. Drink some water. Water break. Water break. And once you're done, water emoji in the chat. Okay. Drink some water, all of you. Drink some water. Done? Water break done? Yes? Done water break? Okay, nice, nice. Water break is done now. Now students, now we will start something called as response to abiotic factors. How are we responding to abiotic factors now? Okay. We have to respond. No, somehow we have to respond. For example, students tell me, if the temperature becomes extremely hot outside, summertime you saw, no, what do? Like when mentally you'll go stand in the sun, nah, give me more heat, give me more energy, give me some sunshine. You will not do that. If it is extremely hot outside, you will sit inside the house, nice AC or fan, drink some juice and aram se relax in the house. Yes or no? Okay. What if it is extremely winter season? What do? If it becomes extremely winter, one sweater you will wear, one more sweater you will wear, one more jacket you will wear after that, and you will completely cover yourself with a blanket and sit in a corner. Winter season, winter season. Okay. You will not become shirtless and start roaming everywhere. Not possible. Okay. So in winter season, cover yourself. Summer season, aram se chill little inside the house. So based on the environment, based on the abiotic factors, you're changing yourself. Yes. Now, do you think animals also do the same? Do you think animals also do the same thing? In summer they are different, winter they are different. In summer they are wearing sweater, in winter they are in winter they are wearing sweater, in summer they are roaming around. Say, tell me students, what do you think animals are doing? Same thing, no? Same thing. We are also animal, they are also animal. So based on that, we have something called as your regulators, conformers and partial regulators. Understand students, understand. What is a regulator? This regulator is different from your gas regulator. That is different. Gas regulator is different. Fan regulator is different. This regulator is different. Okay. What is a regulator? What is a regulator? Understand students, all of you understand. Very simple, very simple. These are the organisms. These are the organisms. They can keep the internal body temperature constant. They can keep the internal body temperature. Internal body temperature constant. Whatever happens outside, they can keep their internal body temperature. Homeotherms, humans, homeotherms. Okay, homeotherms. Okay. Now, what is your conformers? Conformers. Conformers. Opposite of it. They cannot keep. Simply they cannot keep. They cannot keep. Then they cannot keep internal body temperature constant. They cannot keep it. Not possible at all. Not possible at all to keep it. Basically, your cold-blooded animals, killers, the crocodile, okay, crocodile and all, okay, that is your conformers. Partial regulators are in between, okay. Now, can we read here, students? This is let's skip this slide. This is very basically I've given you one story here, okay. They'll never ask you from here. Let's read from here, okay. Now, I told you in summertime, switch on the AC and you will sit around in the this thing in your office or school AC. If school is very rich, school also has AC, but my school did not have any AC, did not have fan also. Okay. But imagine if you're going in car, summer season, what do? AC in the car. So all of us humans, we are somehow adapted ourselves to the proper around easy temperature. We do not want it to become too hot or too cold also, right? So the contrast, for the examples could be in terms of optimum temperature and osmotic concentration of body fluids in the case of animals. Ideally then, organisms should try to maintain the constancy of its internal temperature, a process called as homeostasis, which we do. All of us do homeostasis, that is maintaining the internal body temperature, homeostasis. Despite varying external environment conditions that tend to upset its homeostasis. Let us take an analogy to clarify the important concept. Suppose a person is able to perform his or her best when the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. For example, who wants to be the person? Tell me. Let's take Supriya today. Supriya. Okay. Supriya is able to work really well. 25 degrees Celsius is optimum temperature. It becomes too hot, AC on. Becomes too cold, heater on. Optimum temperature, Supriya is working. Okay, 25 degrees Celsius. And wishes to maintain it so. Even when it's scorching hot or freezing cold outside, it could be achieved at home, in car, while traveling, and at workplace by using air conditioner, AC, in summer and heater in the winter. Then his or her performance would be always be maximum regardless of the weather around him or her. Obviously, she can work really well. Doesn't matter how the temperature is outside. It's hot also, she'll like, I'm going to kill it today. If it's cold also, she'll like, I am ready, sir, today also. Okay, amazing. Okay, but artificial means, see, this is artificial, right? Yes or no? Here the person's homeostasis is accompanied but not through physiological but artificial means. It is artificial means you're doing. Now I'll tell you natural method. Students, I'll tell you natural method now. Understand. In summer, if you're traveling in the bus, it is extremely hot. There is no AC. What will you do? One from here, one stream will come, one tip, water will come out in the form of sweat. Here also sweat will come, So in summer, we sweat, and when the sweat evaporates, cooling effect. In the winter, what do? In the winter, it happens, no? And imagine you're driving in the winter season, early morning, 5 o'clock, start doing, no? Shivering. Shivering will cause a lot of heat generation in the body and you'll become hot. So that is body's mechanism. In summer, sweating. In winter, shivering. Natural. Who needs AC now? Tell me. Okay. So you artificial, natural, sweat and shivering. Okay. Now regulators about us, all of us. Okay. Some organisms are able to maintain homeostasis by physiological, sometimes behavior also. See, very important. Even behavior also they can maintain the homeostasis behavior, which ensure the constant body temperature, constant osmotic concentration, etc. All birds and mammals, see, all of us, our names are here. Students, our names are here. We are mammals, see, our name, be happy. Your names on the board, all of you. Okay, mammals and a very few lower vertebrates and invertebrate species are indeed capable of such regulation, thermoregulation and osmoregulation. See, temperature and osmotic, both are very important. Okay, evolutionary biologists believe that success of mammals is largely due to their ability to maintain the constant body temperature and thrive whether they are live in Antarctica or in Sahara. Yes or no? You're in Antarctica, Sahara, always able to survive. The mechanism used by most mammals to regulate their body temperature is similar to ones that we humans use. We maintain a constant body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius centigrade in summer. When outside temperature is more than our body temperature, we sweat. Okay, resulting evaporation, cooling. Similarly, when what happens with a desert cooler in operation, bringing down the body temperature. In winter, when the temperature is much lower than 37 degrees Celsius centigrade, we start to shiver. A kind of exercise which provides heat and raises the body temperature. The plant, on the other hand, do not have such mechanism to maintain the internal temperature. Sad life which plants have. Sad life. Okay. So did all of you understand regulators? How all of you are able to survive very well? Yes or no? See, trees cannot do it. Which mammal we are? I know monkey, no? One monkey we are. All of us are monkey, but in my class, all of you are plants. Okay? In my class, all of you are plants. Now see here, conformers, an overwhelming majority, 99% of animals and nearly all plants, can you see here, nearly all plants are your conformers. There are some plants which can do regulations. Do you want to know a small fact, students, for all my students today? All of you are here today. I'll tell you a small fact. Try to Google something called as odo lily. Odo lily. Okay, it is a type of flower, a plant which can produce heat. Yes, it's a special type of plant which can melt the ice around it. Special type of plant which can melt the ice around it and become hot. See, crazy plants, no? There are some plants which can be amazing. They can be regulators. Okay, but many plants are your conformers. Okay. Now students, now all plants cannot maintain the constant internal temperature, internal environment. The body temperature changes with the ambient temperature. What is the meaning of ambient temperature? Ambient temperature means surrounding temperature. If surrounding it is becoming cold, they'll also become cold. If surrounding is becoming hot, they'll also become hot. Do you realize? So based on the environment, they change their temperature. Change the temperature. Okay. In aquatic animals, the osmotic concentration of body fluids change with the ambient water osmotic concentration. Environment is becoming salty, body is becoming salty. Environment is becoming less salty, body is becoming less salty. So osmoregulations is done with the help of the ambient temperature. Okay. Now, these animals and plants are simply conformers, right? Considering the benefits of constant internal temperature in organisms, we must ask why these conformers had not evolved to become regulators. Alas, no. Why is stupid plant? Why is the plant still a conformer? Evolution is happening so many years. Why is the plant still a conformer? Why is the plant not becoming a regulator? Question for all of you, no? Question for all of you. You might ask, why are they still conformer? Why there are something lizards, tortoise and all, why are they still conformers? Why can't they become regulators? Simple answer question, students. I'll ask you a simple question. Do all of you have AC in the house? See, in my house I don't have AC. In my house I don't have AC. Tell me, students. Do all of you have AC in the house? I told you, summer it is becoming hot, on the AC. It is becoming cold, switch on the heater. But do all of you have AC in the house or not? Tell me. If it is so important, you can maintain the body temperature so well artificially. Do all of you have AC in the house? No. Right? Why? Why there is no AC in everyone's house? Why, students? What is this? What is this, students? What is this? Cash. Cash, no. AC, expensive. What do? We sweat. We sweat. Same thing in the case of animals also. There are not many animals who can afford AC. The meaning is that the entire process of regulation is an expensive energy process. Not all animals or plants can spend so much of energy just to become warm or regulate the temperature or osmoregulation. It's a very expensive process. Not everyone can afford it. Okay. Did all of you understand now, students? Do all of you understand why not all conformers are becoming your regulators? Because it's a very expensive process. It is a very expensive process. Okay. Now, students, we must ask why conformers had not evolved to become regulators. Recall the human analogy we used above. Much as we like, how many people can really afford air conditioner? Many simply sweat it out, okay, and resign themselves to suboptimal performance in the hot summer months. Thermoregulation is energetically expensive for the many organisms. This is particularly true for small animals like your shrews and hummingbird. Shrew is a small, like the small rat it is, okay. Heat loss or heat gain is a function of surface area. Very important line. Heat loss and heat gain is for surface area. Heat loss or heat gain is a function of surface area. Since all small animals have large surface area to their volume, they tend to lose body heat very fast. And when it gets cold outside, they have to spend they have to spend much energy to generate body heat through metabolism. This is the main reason why very small animals and very small animals are rarely found in polar regions, because it is very difficult for them to survive. In polar regions, you will see polar bear, penguins, seal, walrus, thick, fat animals. You will not find small animals in the polar regions. Okay. During the course of evolution, the cost and benefit of maintaining constant internal environment has taken into consideration. Some species have evolved the ability to regulate, but only over a limited range of environmental conditions, beyond which they simply become conformer also, humans also. Okay. If stressful and external conditions are localized or remain only for a short duration of time, organisms have taken a small alternative. For example, I'll tell you a quick example. Okay. You are right now in, let's say, in Kashmir. Some of you are in Kashmir right now. Kashmir. Okay. We are in Kashmir right now. It becomes very cold in Kashmir. What do? There are two options. You can buy a heater and stay in Kashmir. The other option is, during extreme winter time, move out of that place and come to Bangalore for 3 months, or come to Rajasthan, or go to any of the other states where temperature is not very low. Yes or no? Temporarily. Or for example, you're in Rajasthan. And in summer time it's very hot. You're not able to even breathe. It's so hot. So what do? Temporarily come to Bangalore, aram se chill in Bangalore. Yes or no? Do you think animals also do this, students? Do you think even animals also do this? Tell me, students. Do you think even animals also do this? Animals also do this, students. Animals also, travel from one place to another. Especially birds. You might have heard. There's something called as migration. Have you heard about it? Migration. During extreme winter time, birds will migrate to different places. Yes or no? Yes. All of you know it. Okay. Migration. Or they sleep off. Or what do they do? If it becomes extremely hot outside, they take a nap. Very simple. Eat 5 star, do nothing. They will sleep off until the temperature becomes normal. There is something called as hibernation and aestivation. Okay. Hibernation is a winter sleep. Aestivation is summer sleep. Hibernation, polar bear, sleep off. Simple. To avoid problems, sleep off. Okay. Animals go in bath in sunlight. Chicken shelter. Penguin chicks huddling to make sure the body becomes heat. This elephant is putting water in the body. The elephant ear is for cooling. Yes or no? So all that can happen. Okay. See, migration by the birds. Frozen at LIC. It will be frozen, but it is still alive. This bear is sleeping. Can you see the bear is sleeping in hibernation? So all this can happen. Okay, all this can happen. There's something called as migration or suspend. Migration, all of you know. Okay. Organisms that can move away temporarily from the stressful habitat to a more hospitable area and return when the stressful period is over. In human analogy, this strategy is like a person moving from Delhi to Shimla for duration of summer. And many animals, particularly birds, during the winter undergo long distance migration to more hospitable area. Every winter, the famous 𝐂𝐤 National Park, that is Bharatpur in Rajasthan, hosts thousands of migratory birds coming from Siberia and other external cold northern regions. Migrations. Simply travel. Okay. Now, what is suspension? Sleeping. Even seeds also know. Dormancy, you might have heard. Seeds will not germinate only. Whatever happens, seed is like, I'm not germinating today. Not my day, I will sleep. Now students, can anyone tell me which hormone is responsible for seed dormancy? Which hormone? Tell me in the chat. I can go to Hyderabad also. Nice place. Hyderabad you can go, nice biryani you will get. Okay. In bacteria, fungi and lower plants, various kinds of thick walled spores are formed which help them to survive unfavorable conditions. Spore formation in bacteria. Okay. These germinate on availability of suitable environment. In higher plants, seeds and some other vegetative reproductive structures serve as a means to tide over the period of stress besides helping in dispersal, that is dormancy, okay, and misty propagation. They germinate to form new plants under favorable moisture and temperature conditions. They do so by reducing their metabolic activity and going into a state of dormancy. State of dormancy, very important line. In animals, organisms, if unfavorable to migrate, might avoid the stress by escaping in time. That is, you're familiar with the case of bears going into hibernation during the winter. It's an example of escape in time. Some snails and fishes go into aestivation. See, summer sleep, aestivation, to avoid summer related problems, heat and desiccation. Desiccation means dryness. Under unfavorable conditions, many zooplankton species in lakes and ponds are known to enter diapause, a stage of suspended development. So, hibernation, aestivation, diapause. Diapause in the case of zooplankton, sleeping time. Okay, done. Migration, this is your frozen. Now, with that, students, we come to the next topic. Can we take a water break again? Water break, all of you? Could you drink some water, all of you? And students, smash that like button. No, smash the like button. One smash, you give the like button. Okay. Hibernation will come under your suspend. Hibernation will come here, students. Hibernation will come here in suspend. In suspend, because in migration they have to move from one place to another. They do not in movement. In suspend they do not move at all. Just sleep nicely. Just sleep. So last month I went to Gokarna, couldn't find nice biryani. Gokarna, why biryani? Why are you eating Gokarna? Gokarna, you go aram se eat some fish or something. ABA, exactly. Now students, can we start adaptation now? Can we start with adaptation, students, now? Now again, many questions will come from adaptation also. Many questions. Can we start, students? Stomach is full of water. Drink more water. Drink more water. It's fine. Drink more water. Okay, all of you drink more water. What is the likes ratio? Let me just check. Students, what is the 61 likes only here? Target is 150 today. Target is 150 today. Okay. I got prawns, sir. Prawns are also tasty. Nice. Now, all of you quickly smash the like button and we will go with the next topic now. Okay. Now students, all of you are able to enjoy till now. All of you are understanding every single line of NCERT. This is a very big chapter. Let me tell you, this is a very big chapter. So I'm doing it in two parts. Part 1, part 2. Okay. So quickly, students, let me know in the chat if you have any doubt till now. I will take up the doubts. Any doubt till now? Everything is very easy to understand, right? Everything is very easy to understand. Okay. Any doubt till now? No doubt? Okay, no doubt. Perfect. Okay. Now we come to something called as adaptation. Adaptation. Very interesting topic. You will learn something called as kangaroo rat, and you'll I'll show you a diagram, students. I'll show you a diagram for today, all of you today. See this. You will learn about this person also. One amazing person is there. Okay. You will learn about him. Okay. You will learn about this person also. Okay. So all you will learn right now. Let me know in the chat if we can start. Adaptation. Okay. Can we start adaptation now? Cockroach hit. Okay, I will come to Hyderabad someday. Hyderabad is my guest list. I'll come to Hyderabad and tell me, students, before I come to Hyderabad, I will ask you, students, which is the best place to eat biryani? You need to tell me beforehand only, before I go there. Okay? Okay, now, adaptation. Can we start adaptation now? Adaptation, can we start? Okay. Now, while considering the various alternatives available to organisms for coping up with the extremes in their environment, we have seen that some are able to respond through certain physiological adjustment, while others do so behaviorally. That is, migration is behavior. Okay, migrating temporarily to less stressful environment. These responses are also actually their adaptations. So we can say that adaptation is any attribute of organism morphologically, physiologically and behaviorally that enables the organism to survive and reproduce its habitat. So adaptation will include what? Adaptation will include your morphological changes. All of you remember, no? The stem adaptation. Remember stem adaptation? The rhizome, yes or no? Stolon, offset, yes or no? Tuber, yes. Then there was something called as your root adaptation, stilt roots, prop roots, leaf adaptation, spines, tendrils, physiological and behavioral. All three are included in the behavior, okay, in behavior. Now, that enables the organism to survive and reproduce in its habitat. Many adaptations have evolved over a long evolutionary time and are generally fixed. In absence of an external source of water, first one is your kangaroo rat. First one is your kangaroo rat here. Kangaroo rat is very important. Why? This kangaroo rat, no, it will stay in very desert conditions. See this. This is your kangaroo rat. Okay. This is your kangaroo rat. It is staying in desert condition. It has very less water. But does it give up and die? No. This kangaroo rat has devised a very special type of mechanism called as beta oxidation of water. Beta oxidation of fat. It oxidizes the fat in its body and converts into metabolic water. Yes or no? This kangaroo rat will do beta oxidation of fat in mitochondria and produce what? And produce water. Metabolic water. And also it will do what? It will also produce concentrated urine. Yes. That is kangaroo rat. Okay. In Northern America, desert is capable of meeting all its water requirements through internal fat oxidation. See, internal fat oxidation in which water is a byproduct. It also has the ability to concentrate the urine so that the minimal volume of water is used to remove the excretory products. First one done, students. All of you know first one. First one is clear to all of you. Kangaroo rat. It doesn't even look like kangaroo. I don't know why will they even call it kangaroo rat. I don't know why will they even, because it is standing in two legs, huh? like kangaroo. Okay, kangaroo rat. See here, standing on two legs like a kangaroo. Okay, the first one is kangaroo rat. Second one is your desert plants. Okay, second one is your desert plants here. Students, in your book, all of you write down kangaroo rat, desert plants, all the examples on the left side of the book you write down. All of you write down. Okay, very important. Okay, many desert plants have a thick cuticle. Yes or no? Thick cuticle will be there. If there is thick cuticle, it reduces the transpiration loss, and also the thick cuticle will bounce all the sunlight, so transpiration is decreased, water loss is decreased. Thick cuticle. Okay, on the leaf surface, and stomata is arranged in deep pits, that is sunken stomata. Yes or no? Sunken stomata is there. First one is, students, write down like this in your book. Thick cuticle. Second one is what? Sunken stomata. Okay, sunken stomata done. Okay. Apart from that, students, water loss through transpiration, they also have a special photosynthetic pathway called as CAM pathway, or something called as CAM pathway. Students, tell me in the chat how many of you want to learn CAM pathway. I will teach you in 2 minutes if you want to learn. CAM pathway is similar to C4 but is a little different. How many of you want to learn CAM pathway? They'll never ask you an examination, but it's a small extra information which can benefit you somewhere in your life. You want to learn? I'll teach you, it's fine. You don't have an option. You're sitting with me. You don't have an option. You have to listen. You're stuck with me. All of you are stuck with me. You don't have an option. What are you saying? You're like, no sir, I don't want to learn. You don't have an option, students. What is CAM pathway? Now CAM pathway, CAM means crustallysis. It's called as, one thing, let me change the color we'll put. Okay. Crustacean, Crustacean, Crustacean acid, Crustacean acid metabolism. Metabolism. Understand, students. Crustacean acid metabolism pathway. Okay. So what exactly happens in this pathway? Understand. Shining is coming. Can you see the shine here? CAM pathway is shining. Okay. Now there is something called as a day and night arrangement here. There's something called as day and night arrangement. Understand what is happening. In CAM pathway, we have a day and night arrangement. Day and night arrangement. Okay. So in daytime, students, tell me, in daytime will there be more heat? Yes or no? Tell me. There will be more light and more heat. Okay. So if the plant needs to save water in the daytime, will it open the stomata or close the stomata? In the daytime, lot of heat. Okay. So it's very shy it is. It will completely close all the stomata. Okay. Will completely, stomata is, what will happen? Stomata is closed. Stomata is closed here. But in night time, film students, night time very cold temperature. So stomata is open in the night time. Stomata is open in the night time. Okay. If stomata is open in the night time, can the CO2 enter? Tell me. CO2 enter? Yes, CO2 can enter. When the CO2 enters inside the cells, the CO2 is converted to malic acid. If you remember, students, malic acid is a 4-carbon. Malic acid is 4-carbon. And this malic acid is stored in the vacuoles. It is stored in the vacuoles. Now, what happens in the daytime? Okay, this is happening in the night time. In the daytime, what happens is, this malic acid, students, in the daytime, this malic acid is converted to a 3-carbon acid, a pyruvic acid, a 3-carbon acid. Now here it is 4-carbon, here it is 3-carbon. 1 carbon is missing. Yes, 1 carbon is missing, and then 1 carbon is removed in the form of CO2 inside the cells in the stomata. Okay. Now this CO2 which is removed in the daytime, this enters the C3 cycle, and that's how we get the glucose. C3 cycle, again, CO2 is picked up by your RUBP in the presence of Rubisco enzyme and produces triose phosphate and get converted to glucose. So day and night arrangement. Daytime it is stomata is open, daytime it is closed, nothing happens here mainly. Night time all the process happens, malic acid is converted, and daytime C3 cycle is running. This is called as your CAM pathway. The most basic way to teach you. The CAM pathway. Okay. So we will not go detail of it because it is not given your syllabus. Did all of you understand? Yes or no? Tell me, students. All of you understand CAM pathway? Understood CAM pathway? Yes or no? Day and night arrangement. Okay. So I'll write a CAM pathway. They have CAM pathway also. CAM pathway. Okay. Next. That enables their stomata to remain closed during the daytime. See, some desert plants like Opentia have no leaf. Okay. They have no leaf, and leaf is converted to what? Leaf is converted to spines. Leaf is converted to spines here. Converted to spines. Okay. Leaf is converted to spines here. Okay. They reduce to spines, and the photosynthetic function is taken over by a flattened stem. Oh, you are my students. You are all of your plants. All of your plants. So all of you can tell me what is this flattened stem they're talking about? The photosynthetic flattened stem. That is your phylloclad. My students should be able to answer. Don't tell flattened stem. Phylloclad is a stem which can do photosynthesis. So in your book, this you should write down under desert plant. Similarly, write down kangaroo rat. Write down kangaroo rat here somewhere. Kangaroo rat. What does it do? Do oxidation of fat. So you don't have to read this entire thing again, students. You don't have to read this entire thing. If you write down certain points, you always remember concentrated urine. That's all. That's all. Okay. Kangaroo rat is here. Okay. Now there's something called as Allen's rule. Understand? Allen's rule. Allen's rule. Okay. In Allen's rule, you understand that in the cold regions, the mammals or the animals have very short ears and small limbs. That is called as Allen's rule. See, as you go to warmer temperature in desert, the ears are becoming bigger and bigger. But in the Arctic regions, in the cold temperature, the ears are very small. The body also is very small. Okay, Allen's rule. Mammals on the colder climate generally have, shorter ears and limbs in colder temperature to minimize the heat loss. This is called as Allen's rule. It's called as Allen's rule. Clear, all of you? Short ear. If you can't see, I'll mark it for you one more time. Can you see here? Short ears. Okay. Now, in the polar sea, one more. This is the important one. Okay. In the polar seas, aquatic animals like seal, not the seal, the animal. The seal have a thick layer called as blubber. Okay. So seal has something called as blubber. Okay. So write down Allen's rule also here. Allen's rule. Okay. Below there is skin that acts as an insulator and reduces the fat loss. Done. Easy. Now next one. This is the blubber. This is the blubber, students. This is the blubber here. Can you see? The thick skin it has, which is called as blubber. It's called as blubber. Looks so funny. Okay. Next thing. Now students, now I will teach you something called as altitude sickness. Now, if you have gone in aeroplane somewhere, anytime in your life, if you have gone in aeroplane, you will notice that your ears will start to ring a little. Sound will come if you go in aeroplane because of the change in the atmospheric pressure. It will happen. Same thing will happen if you go to the high altitude also. If you go to hiking or something, your ears will clog up. One weird sensation will come. That happens because of the change in altitude. Okay, see this. Some organisms possess adaptations that are physiological, which allow them to respond quickly to the stressful situations. If you had ever been to any high altitude, more than 3,500 Rongtan Pass near Manali, okay, and Mansurwar, okay, in China that occupies Tibet, you must have experienced what is called as altitude sickness. Men will become, tension will become, okay. Its symptoms includes nausea, weird feeling inside, okay, nausea, fatigue, and heart palpitation. What palpitation? The heart will become full, heartbeat faster, called as heart palpitation. Okay, this is because in low atmospheric pressure of the high altitude, the body does not get enough of oxygen. The body is not getting enough of oxygen. That is why this is happening. Okay, so your body will fight against it. Your body will become adapt towards it. It will become adapt towards it. How? Understand? How will adapt towards it? Let's see it written here only. The body compensates for low oxygen availability by increasing the red blood production. First one, see, all of it down. What is first one? This is called as acclimatization. First of all, understand, it's called as acclimatization. Acclimatization means getting used to. It means getting used to the fact. Okay, you might have seen when you go to your granny's house, you'll get to used to eating a lot of food in granny's house. Your house, no proper treatment in your house. Okay, go to granny's house, they'll treat you very well. You'll get used to it. So acclimatization. Okay, this is called acclimatization. Your body will get used to it. Your body will get used to it by increasing. The first one is increasing the number of RBC. Okay, increase in blood production, decreasing the binding affinity of the hemoglobin by increasing the breathing rates. See, breathing rate is increasing Binding affinity is also decrease in the binding affinity. Okay. Many tribes live in the high altitude of Himalayas. Find out. This is not. They have more blood cells. In most animals, the metabolic reactions and hence all the physiological functions proceed optimally in a narrow temperature ranging from range of humans in 37 degrees Celsius. But there are microbes. See, archaebacteria, PYQ, that flourishes in the hot springs and deep sea hydrothermal vents where the temperature is more than 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. Solve this question, all of you. Solve this question on the board. All of you solve this question now, quickly. I'll drink some water in the middle gap. Solve the question. Done. A person gets high altitude sickness when the symptoms like breathing difficulty and heart palpitation. Reason why? Due to low atmospheric pressure and high altitude, body does not get enough oxygen. Explaining? Yes, it is explaining. So is the answer. This was question in NEET 2023. Same question was asked in NEET 2021 also. Can you see? Same question. No creativity only. A person gets high altitude experience symptoms of breathing and difficulty and heart palpitation. Low atmospheric pressure, high altitude, and body does not get enough oxygen. NEET 2021. Same question, same answer. Same answer. This is your blabber. Okay. Many fishes thrive in Antarctic water where the temperature is always below zero. Some fish is able to survive in below zero condition because they have something called as anti-freezing proteins. Okay, like glycerol. Okay, anti-freezing proteins. How do they manage to keep the body fluid freezing? That is anti-freezing proteins. Okay, glycerol. Okay, large variety of marine invertebrates and fishes at great depths in the ocean where the pressure could be more than 100 times the normal atmospheric pressure. Okay, organisms living in such extreme environment show a fascinating area of biochemical adaptations. Some organisms show behavioral adaptations to cope with the variation in the environment. Desert lizards lack, see again very important, more examples. Some fourth example, no, fourth, fifth example is even. Fourth, fifth example. Desert lizards lack the physiological ability that mammals have to deal with the high temperature of their body habitat, but manage to keep their body temperature fairly constant by behavioral means. That is, they bask in the sun and absorb the heat from their heat when their body temperature drops below the comfort zone. You might have seen lizard, crocodile, they go to the sun, they'll open their mouth and they'll sit. When you go to the zoo, you might have seen, when they go to zoo, they open their mouth and they sit. No, you might have seen, crocodile no. Okay. Some species are capable of burrowing into the soil to hide and escape from the above ground heat. You can see here. This is your cactus, phylloclad. This is your microbes, archaebacteria. This is your antifreeze protein with your fishes. And it's going inside the burrowing. Lizard basking in this thing here, sunlight to make the body temperature hotter. Okay. Solve this question, all of you. Solve this question. Secondary metabolites such as your nicotine, your tyrosine and caffeine are produced by the plants for what? Defense action. It is a adaptation which they have. Okay. Students, all of these notes will be available. If you want these notes also, everything will be available on the Telegram channel. Baswaraj sir, biology. Okay. All the notes will be available here. If you scan this, you can join there. Okay. Now the next topic and the last topic today. See, today two main topics. Organism is done. Chapter name is what? Organism and population. Organism part is done a little bit. The environment part. Now we go to something called as your population part. And that we will start after a small break. What do you say? Because I know some of you are like, sir, hungry, body is a little Body is telling I want food. Adaptation is telling I want food in the mouth. Okay. So I will give you a solid 15 minutes break. Enjoy. I'll give you a solid 15 minutes break. Run, eat something, drink some water, and come back again, and then we will start your population attributes. Okay. So in population, we'll talk about your different type of population. What is a population? Okay. We'll solve some questions. We'll talk about different types of population, expanding, stable, declining. We'll talk about your microbes here, a little bit of your tiger. What is your birth rate, death, immigration, emigration. Talk about different growth models, exponential and logistic, this graph here. And we will finish the chapter. And that's all the chapter is. So hardly we will do 1 hour extra or 1 hour 20 minutes we'll do after we start the next part. Okay. So we'll take a small break right now. We'll take a small break. Okay. Now what is the time? 7:46. We will start 8 p.m. Resume at 8 p.m. Okay. Run all of you. Okay. So all of you go and read after that. Okay. So I'll see you exactly all of you exactly in next 15 minutes. So bye bye. Take care. Quickly go eat and come all of you. Eat something and come. Sound check, sound check. Okay, beautiful. Sound is perfect. Welcome back, students. Now let's finish the second part of the chapter, that is going to be your population. And let me tell you, students, population, every single year there will be one or two questions. Every single year one question. With proof I'll show you. For example, this year NEET 2024 also, the first question from your population was there was a question, the carrying capacity question. So every single year many questions come from population. So I want everyone to pay extra focus attention right now, and there are certain numericals which we'll be doing, so pay attention to that. Any doubt anywhere, you can always ask me in the chat and I'll be looking at it. Okay, so let's start reading. Let's start reading, students. Let's start reading. Now, students, again I'm telling you again and again, keep your NCERT next to you. Three things: keep your NCERT next to you, keep a pen next to you, and keep a water. That is what? Keep a water bottle next to you. Three main things while you're studying in my class. Three main things. That's all you need to do. Keep these three things and you're good to go. Okay. Now, focus time. Population attributes. In nature, we rarely find isolated single individuals of any species. I told you before, no. Look around you. You will see spider, you will see ant, you will see rat, you will see cockroach. Tell me, is the cockroach a single cockroach or there are a group of cockroaches there? Is there a single spider or a group of spiders in your house? Group, right? Always say in group. Rarely they're lonely. Okay. Majority of them are live in groups and we in a well-defined geographical area. Share or compete for a similar resource, potentially interbreeding, and thus constitute a population. This right here is a definition of population. A population will have what? Live in a well-defined geographical area, same species. Again, students, tell me, will there be same species or different species? There will be same species. Can you see here? Potentially interbreeding, sharing natural resources, competing for natural resources. That is basically your population. Basically your population. See here. Same species. Tiger population, sheep population, cow population, parrot population. It's a population of a single species. Always. Okay. Although the term interbreeding implies sexual reproduction, a group of individuals resulting from even asexual reproduction is also generally considered in a population for the purpose of ecological studies. So we also take asexual reproduction also. Okay. All the cormorants, that is a type of bird. Cormorants in a wetland, rats in an abandoned dwelling, teak wood tree in a forest, tracks, bacteria in a culture plate, and lotus plants in a pond are a few examples of population. In earlier chapter, you have learned, although an individual organism is one that has to cope with the change in environment, it is at population level that the natural selection operates to evolve a desired trait. Very, very, very important line. Evolution chapter. So if I ask you at what level does the natural selection operate, what will be your answer? It is not macro, it is not cell, it is not tissue, it is not organ, it is not individual. It is at a population level, natural selection operates at population level. Very important line. Okay. Let me highlight for you. It is at population level, the natural selection operates to evolve desirable traits. Very important line of NCERT. Hidden line. Okay. The population ecology is therefore an important area of ecology because it links. What is it linking? It is linking multiple things. Can you see? Population is ecology. It is linking something called as your population genetics, physiology, system ecology, landscape ecology, and community ecology. Entire thing is called linking in population ecology. Your NCERT tells you only about links ecology to population genetics and evolution. So population ecology is very important to study, which you will do it right now. Population ecology. Okay. Let's start. Without water, go fill some water and come. Okay. Let's start now. And population has certain attributes that an individual organism does not have. Very important line. Population has certain attributes. An individual may have birth and death. See, I and both of you. I have birth rate. You have birth rate. Death. So when we talk about individuals, we have birth and death. But when we talk about population, we talk about birth rate and death rate. So always remember, students, birth rate, how it is happening, birth rate and death rate. Death rate, this is in relation with the population always. It's in relation with the population. At the same time, death and birth at individual level. Okay. Now see, but population has birth rate and death rate. In a population, these rates referred to as per capita, means per thousand, and per capita birth and death respectively. The rate hence expressed in the change in the number of increase or decrease with respect to the members of population. Birth means will happen increase, death means population will decrease. Okay. Here in an example, a pond, there are 20 lotus plant. Okay. In a pond, there are 20 lotus in a pond. Okay. Last year, and through reproduction, 8 new plants are added. Okay. So 20 plus 8 is how much? Tell me, students. 20 plus 8 is 20 plus 8 is 28. Lotus is the current. Current plants. Okay. New population. Old population, I'll just tell you. This is the old population. This is the new population. Okay. Now, we calculate birth rate. How do we calculate birth rate now? Understand. Birth rate. Right here only. How do we calculate birth rate? Very simple formula. Birth rate is equal to newly added population divided by initial population. Tell me, students, newly added is how much? Newly added is 8. Yes or no? Newly added is 8. Okay. Newly added is 8. 8 divided by initial population is how much? 20. Initial population was 20. So it technically gives you 0.4 offspring of lotus per year. Now one more example they have given you. If 4 individuals in a laboratory, population of 40 fruit flies died during a specified time interval in a week. Now we're talking about death rate. Okay. Death rate also has a simple formula. Death rate is basically nothing but your how many are dead divided by initial population. Okay. Now how many dead? Tell me, students, now here. How many are dead here? Dead is how many? 4. 4 are dead. Okay, 4 are dead. So 4 divided by initial population is how much? 40. So 4 divided by 40, which is around 0.1. Okay. 0.1 individuals of per fruit fly per week they are dying. Okay. So do you have a formula right now? You have a formula here, students. Write down the formula for your birth rate, and also the death rate. Okay. Simple formula for birth rate and death rate. With that information, can you calculate this question, students? Can all of you calculate this question now? This question right here on the board. It's a NEET 2023 question. The question says that there are 250 snails in a pond. Okay. 250 snails in a pond. Within a year, the number increased to 2,500. Okay, 2,500. By reproduction. This is your old population. This is your new population. Okay. What would be the birth rate in snail per year? They're asking you to find birth rate now. Now, what is the formula for birth rate, students? The formula for birth rate is basically your newly added to the population, newly added divided by initial population, yes or no? Yes sir. Now students, tell me how much is the newly added right now? How much is newly added? How do you find newly added now, students? Tell me. How do you find newly added? Newly added is how much? Newly added is supposed to be 2500 minus 250, yes or no? 2500 minus 250, yes or no? 10 minus 5 is 5. 1 will come here. 5 minus 3 is going to be your 2. Yes or no? 2250. 2250. That is your newly added. So 2250 is the, you see, this is old, this is new. Difference is the newly added. Divided by initial population. Initial is 250. 0 gone. And if you end up doing, you'll get 9. 9 is the answer. Okay. So by this method you can solve the questions easily. Very easily. I'll give you one more question. Okay. Solve this question from NEET 2022. I'll give you exactly 1 minute to solve the question. Take your time and solve. If it is not visible, I'll read it. Okay. If 8 Drosophila in a laboratory of population of 80 die during a week. So 8, okay. 8 is death. 8 Drosophila died. Population is how much? Population is 80. You need to find the death rate. Right? You need to find the death rate. Find the death rate. What is the formula? Death rate is simple formula, right? Death by initial population. How many are dead here? 8. What is initial population? 80. 8 divided by 80 is how much? 0.1. 0.1. Okay, 0.1. So this type of question can be asked in examination. This type of questions can be generally asked in examinations where you need to solve some numericals, and I think you get a basic idea right now. All of you have some basic idea how the questions can be framed, and you can solve them very easily. 2 formulas you need to remember. You can remember, no? All of you can remember? Okay, you can remember. Now another attribute characteristics of population is the sex ratio. That is the ratio of boys and girls. For example, in many states it will vary. There will be more guys, less girls. In other states there will be more girls, less guys. Okay, they can change. Okay. An individual is either a male or female, but a population has sex ratio. 60% of the population are female, or 40% is male. So females have to work hard here to get the males. Okay. A population at any given time is composed of individuals of different age group. All of you, obviously, see, I am here, you are there. You are learning in my class. All of you are around what? 17, 18, 19, 20 years of old, maximum 20, 22. And I am like what? 7, 8 years elder than you. Okay, depending upon your age. So in a population, it's always mix of age in a population. Okay. Overcome fear. A fear will only go when you prepare. Okay. Now, has a sex ratio. A population at given time is composed of individuals of different age. If age distribution per cent individual of a given age or age group is plotted for a population, that is, we take the entire age group and we make a graph out of it, we get the age pyramid. The resulting structure is called as age pyramid. For human population, the age pyramid generally shows a distribution of males and females in a combined diagram, and the shape of diagram is reflected below. So let's do this. Here we have something called as expanding. First one is called as your expanding. Then we have stable, and then we have declining. The first thing which we will study here is the shape. Can anyone tell me here? All of you can see the diagram. Okay. First one is the expanding. Right here. Then we have stable. Then we have declining. Okay. Now students, tell me, in the case of expanding, here we have post-reproductive, old people, reproductive, yeah, the adolescent and the adult, pre-reproductive, small kids. In expanding population, can you see it is a pyramid shape? It is a pyramid shape. Or triangle shape? Yes or no? Yes, sir. It is a much more expanding population. It is a pyramid shape or triangle shape. Or you can say pyramid also. Pyramid shape. In such a condition, if you see your pre-reproductive is more than reproductive, pre-reproductive is more than reproductive, and reproductive is more than post-reproductive, it is more. And such a condition is called as expanding or growing. It is called as expanding or growing. Expanding or growing population. And such a population is observed in the case of your developing countries. Can anyone give me an example of developing country? In developing country, example quickly. Example of developing country is basically India. India is a developing country. So in India we can see such type of population where reproductive is more, post-reproductive is a little bit less. Okay, that is the first one. The next one, you tell me, students. Next one. What is the shape again? Shape, you tell me. Can you see it is a bell shape? This one is bell shape here. It is bell shape. It is bell shape. It is going to be bell shape. And if you can see here, pre-reproductive, the yellow line is equal to the blue line. Okay. Pre-reproductive is equal to reproductive here. It is equal. Okay. Both of them are technically more than post-reproductive. They're more than post-reproductive. Okay. They're more than post-reproductive. Okay. And this type of bell curve is mainly observed in the case of developed countries. America. In the developed countries. Norway, Canada, in developed countries. Okay, bell. Last one. Okay. This one you see, all of you. Now, what is the shape of this one? Can you tell me what is the shape of this one? Shape here. Can you see? It is called as urn shape. You see? It is called as urn shape. URN. It's called as urn shape. Urn shape. Now, if you can notice here, students, in urn shape, pre-reproductive is also less. Post-reproductive is also less. And you can only see here the blue color one. That is, reproductive is higher. And such a condition is called as a declining population. It is seen in the case of Japan. Countries like Japan, students, they don't want to get married. They don't want to have children also. No marriage, no children. Okay, no children only. Okay, so very less children, less old age. Okay, that is in the case of Japan, and also in the case of your war countries where there is war, like Ukraine, Syria, right, and also your Palestine, all this war, Iran, Iraq, all the war is there. Such population can be seen. Such population can be seen in such conditions. Yes, sir, in Japan. Yes, Japan only. Okay, Japan. So, expanding, stable, declining. This is your pyramid shape, bell shape, urn shape. This is your urn shape. This is pyramid shape. Here we have pyramid here. Okay, pyramid. Now, the size of the population tells us a lot about the status, right? Status of the habitat. Whether ecologically process we wish to investigate in a population, be it the outcome of the competition on the species, the impact of the predator or effect of pesticide application, we always evaluate them in terms of any change in the population size, obviously in number. Okay, the size in nature could be less than 10, like your Siberian crane, right? So population can vary. It can be less than 10, or humans, lot of humans, okay, lot of humans in any year, or millions in the case of Chlamydomonas in a pond. Population size, more technically called as population density. Now students, understand the meaning of population density. Ready? All of you ready? Understand population density now. What is the meaning of population density? That is very important term. For example, I'll tell you, there are two schools here. Okay. Tell me name of your school, all of you. Anyone tell me name of your school? There are two schools here. For example, this is school A. I have one school here. I have one school here. I have two schools here. Okay. School A and school B. A and B. Okay. For example, this is school A. We will draw some windows where people look out of it. Windows. You also will draw some windows. School A and school B. Understand population density, you understand. Okay. School A and school B. The area of both the schools, is around 10,000 meters square. Very large school. Okay. 10,000 meters square is the area of both the schools, very same. But your student, but understand, in school A, there are only, not only, there are 10,000 students. For example, there are 10,000 students here. Okay, 10,000 students. But in school B, there are 100 students. 100 students. So can I tell here, in school A, based on the area and the students, the population density is high or low? Tell me, students. Population density is high or low here? Population density is high. So every student will have a little bit of less area for themselves. But compared to school B, where we have 100 students, every single student is sitting in one classroom. Okay, very large area. Population density is less here. Population density is little less here. Population density is comparatively lesser here. At the same time, population density is higher here based on the number of students available. Okay. No, that is called as population density. As designated as n, it is called as n. Need not necessarily be measured in number only. See, doesn't mean, now we told number, it doesn't mean it has to be number only. Okay. Although total number is generally the most appropriate measure of population density. If I ask you, how many students are there in your class? What will you tell me? You will tell me some number, no? Will you tell the biomass? No. If I ask you, what is the population density of your classroom? You will tell me, sir, 50 present, 10 absent. Number you will tell me? Number you will tell me. So that's what happens in the case of population density. Population density is generally measured in the case of number. Okay. It is in some cases either meaningless or difficult to determine. So in some cases, it is difficult to determine. Okay. The Siberian crane, 10 less than 10. Chlamydomonas, millions. Okay. Now this is a very important paragraph. Understand. This paragraph right here tells you what are the cases where you cannot use number to measure the population. Okay. When you cannot use number, when you choose an alternative that time. You choose an alternative when number is not available. Okay. Now see here. In some cases, either meaningless or difficult. It is difficult to determine. In an area, if there are 200 parthenium, that is carrot grass. Okay, 200 parthenium is there. But only a single huge banyan tree. Now you will tell me, population density, if I ask you. Population density, if there is, for example, there is one land here. Okay. In this land, I have a huge banyan tree. And I have small 200 carrot grass. Now tell me, if this is the plot of land, and if I tell you population density of banyan tree is only 1 and carrot grass is 200, what does it look like? It will look like that carrot grass is present everywhere and banyan tree is only 1. Yes or no? Now in such cases, Does the number justify the population density? No. Because banyan tree is so huge, it is completely taking 90% of area. In such cases, numbers becomes meaningless. Numbers becomes meaningless in such cases. Okay. With such large canopy, stating that the population density of banyan tree is low related to the Parthenium, amounts to underestimating the enormous role of banyan tree in the community. In such cases, the percent cover or biomass is more meaningful. So in such cases, biomass is taken. We do not take the number, we take the biomass in such cases. Okay. Total number is again not easily adopted measure if the population is very huge and counting is impossible or very time consuming. Okay, example I'll tell you. If you have a dense laboratory culture of bacteria in a petri dish, see here, you have a dense petri dish like this. It becomes very time consuming. So this is even more clear. This is even more clear. If you have a lot of bacteria growing everywhere, it is very difficult to individually count one bacteria. Very difficult to count. In such case also we take something called as your biomass. Now imagine students, this is a petri dish. Now what if I give you a test tube? What if I give you a test tube and ask you to count the bacteria in it? This bacteria in it, very difficult, no? Very difficult to count the bacteria. Yes. In such cases we count the we take the biomass. In the case of bacteria we take turbidity, usually turbidity. Okay, very difficult to measure. Okay, the best measure is to report density, turbidity. For example, I'll tell you how it is done. I'll tell you. If turbidity is more, bacteria is more. Turbidity is less, bacteria is less. Simple. How do we find turbidity? By passing a light. We pass a light through it and we find the turbidity. Okay. Next thing. The best measure of the density. Sometimes for certain ecological investigations, there is no need to know the absolute population. Very important terms. Very important terms. Something is called as your absolute population. Absolute population. It means the exact number. Absolute population means exact number. Sometimes you do not need to know the exact number. Not required. Relative densities serve a purpose equally well. So in such cases we take something what? Relative density, also called as relative population. The meaning of relative is that approximate population. What do we take? We take something called as approximate population that time. Okay, approximately this much. Okay. Now, serve the purpose. For instance, the number of fish caught per trap is good enough to measure the total population density. I'll give a simple example. Okay, I have a very large lake. Okay, in a very large lake, it is very difficult to count the fishes. Yes or no? Or you will go underwater and count 1, 2, 3, 4. Very difficult to count. Going underwater, counting fishes, very difficult to do. In such cases, what you do is, you need to take a trap. For example, the trap, I'll tell you a small example. See this. If this is the lake, I am on a boat here. And I will add a trap. I will throw a trap here. Okay. Here I am throwing a trap in this area. Okay. And I find here approximately 50 fishes in this trap. Okay. By approximation, can I tell? In this also I have almost 50. Here also I will have around 50. Here also I will have around 50 to 60, 50 to 70 fishes. So approximately I can tell by finding one small area. I can approximately tell how much is present in other area also. That is called as relative density. Okay. No. For instance, a measure of number of fish caught per trap is good enough measure for total population density in a lake. We mostly oblige to estimate population size indirectly without actual counting them, okay, or seeing them also. Other example is tiger census. See, for example, you are in a forest. You see one tiger there. You're like, one tiger here, one tiger here, one tiger here. When you're counting, there is a very high chance that one tiger will come and eat you only. Very high chance. So when it comes to tiger sensor also, to find the number of tigers, we cannot use the absolute value there. Very dangerous it is. Very dangerous, because tiger keeps on moving also. In such cases, what do we do? In such cases, we find something called as, we do something called as pug marks. This is called as pug marks. We count the pug marks, or we find the fecal matter of tiger, and we approximately tell, approximately 30 tiger in this location, 30 tiger, approximately 50 tiger in your area. So approximate value they'll give you, approximate value. Okay. So the tiger consensus in our nation, peaks, parks and tiger reserves is often based on the pug marks and fecal pellets. Relative. Okay. Now students, with that we come to the next topic. With that we come to the next topic, that is called as your population growth. Very easy topic students, very easy topic. Population growth is one of the easiest to do. Okay, all of you know this, all of you know this. This is what we learn here, this is what we learn here. Can we start? All of you drink some water, all of you drink some water. Water break, water break. Done? Done students? Till now, any doubt in ecology, you tell me students. No, today we will not complete the chapter. Today we will finish until the growth models. Today we will do something called as growth models and the population interaction, no, the Nemo fish and all that. Population interaction, predation, commensalism, amensalism, parasitism, competition in the next class. Okay, in next class. All of you drink some water. Done? Done drinking water? Okay. Can we start now? Students, quickly smash that like button, all of you. Quickly smash that like button, all of you. Quickly. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. And if you do not know, my name is Vasraj sir. Okay. Some of you do not know me. I'm telling you my name. Introduction is important. No. Introduction is very important. Okay. Now students, now we come to something called as population growth. Size of population for any species is not a static parameter. It means it is not very constant. It is not constant. Okay. It keeps changing in time depending upon various factors including food availability, predation pressure and adverse weather. For example, you also, all of you also, humans also. In Antarctica, you'll find less people. In America, India, very a lot of people, because a lot of food is there. Yes. Okay. In fact, it is these changes in a population density that gives us the idea about what happening to the population, whether it is flourishing or declining. Whatever might be the ultimate reasons, the density of a population in a given habitat during a given period fluctuates due to change in the four basic processes. Two of which are natality and immigration. Natality means birth. Immigration means coming into the location. Contributes to the increase in population and density, population density, and mortality, there is a death and emigration, going out of the country. Okay, emigration is decreasing. Now students, what is natality? Refers to the number of births during a given period in a population that are added to the initial density, So initial density is supposed to be, let's say D is the initial density is the N, population density is the N. So plus the natality will give you the plus birth. Plus birth will give you the natality. Okay. Mortality is what? Is the number of deaths in a population during a given period, that is current population density minus death. How many are dying will give you the mortality. Immigration is the number of individuals of a same species that have come into the habitat from elsewhere during a time period, that is immigration. Emigration means what? Emigration is leaving the country. E for emigration, E for exit. Number of individuals of population who are left the habitat and gone somewhere else during the time period. See this, all of you. Natality will increase the population, immigration will increase the population. Mortality and emigration will decrease the population. Now here, you have a famous equation here. That is, if n is the population density at a time t, the density at the time t plus 1, density at time t plus 1 is equal to, it is equal to birth plus immigration. It is equal to birth plus immigration. Birth plus immigration minus death plus emigration. Death plus immigration. This is called as your population density at t plus 1 condition. T plus 1 condition. Okay. See here, this diagram also you can see. Birth increasing. This is the actual population. This is the population. This is the population. Birth is increasing. Immigration is also increasing. Death is decreasing. Emigration is also decreasing the population. Decreasing the population. Okay. All of you read this question. All of you read this question. The process of individuals of same species that have come into habitat from elsewhere during the time period under consideration is referred to as. From somewhere they're coming here. That is called as what? That is called as your immigration. That is called as immigration. Option number 4. It's called as immigration. Now, the impact of immigration on the population density is, if someone is coming into the population, will the population increase or decrease? Tell me. Negative? No. It will increase the population. It's always positive. NEET 2020 question. Okay. Now students, you can see from the above equation that population density will increase with the number of birth plus immigration. B plus I means population is increasing. D plus E means population is decreasing. Under normal conditions, birth and death are important factors influencing the population density, obviously. The other two factors are assuming the importance only under special condition. That is, for instance, a new habitat is just being colonized. Immigration contribute a significant role. Okay, in normal condition, death and birth play a major role. But if there's a new place, immigration plays a major role. For example, Hyderabad right now. Imagine Hyderabad. Hyderabad is becoming a hub for IT now. All of you know, Hyderabad is advancing so fast that a lot of people are coming to Hyderabad now. Immigration is happening. So because of that condition, population density in Hyderabad is increasing or decreasing? Tell me students. It is increasing now. Population density in Hyderabad is increasing now. Same thing in Bangalore also. Because of the weather and nice conditions, the population density increased here. Yes or no? It is increasing. Okay. In such cases, immigration plays a major role. Immigration plays a major role compared to birth and death. Okay. I know it is increasing rapidly. Now students, we come to growth models now. Can we start? The last topic for today. The last topic for today is the growth models. Can we start? Some fire emoji in the chat. Show some energy in the chat, all of you. All of you not showing energy. Okay. Show some energy in the chat. Show some red hearts in the chat. Okay. Let's go. Last topic for today. And after that, we will stop the class. And I will send you the notes where? In the Telegram channel. All the notes will come in the Telegram channel, all of you. Don't worry. Okay. Students, tell me. This chapter is very big. But isn't it a very easy chapter? Tell me. When you read every single line of NCERT, the chapter becomes very, very, very clear to you. Every single line of NCERT. Okay. Now, does the growth of population with time show any specific predicting patterns? Yes. Everything in this world has a pattern. You study well, you get good. Students, understand this concept, very important. Just like growth model, every single thing in this world has a pattern. You study well, you'll get a medical seat. You work really hard, you show dedication, you get a medical seat. You become laziness and you do not study, you lose everything. You eat a lot, you gain a lot of weight. So every single thing in this world has a small pattern. It could be from a small organism growing to a large thing. Every single thing in this world has a small pattern. everything. Okay. Now, we have been considered about the unbridled, that is uncontrolled human growth and problems created by it in our own country. All of you know, India population skyrocket. Okay. Now, unpopulation growth and population created by our own country, and it's therefore natural for us to curious if there's different animals population nature behave the same as we do. For example, human population is increasing uncontrollably. Do you think even animals also do the same? Tell me, students, do you think even animals also do the same thing where the population is increasing uncontrollably? Let me tell you that. Okay. Now we come to something called as exponential growth and logistic growth models. Okay. So I need a volunteer from the chat now. I need a volunteer from the chat. Who wants to volunteer? Quickly tell me in the chat. Who wants to volunteer? Anyone volunteer? Who wants to volunteer, students? Who wants to volunteer? Someone? Okay. 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 Let's take Sebastian today. Okay, let's take Sebastian today. For example, I am giving Sebastian unlimited money. What will he do? If I'm giving Sebastian unlimited money, what will he do, students? Tell me. Will he be like, no, unlimited money, I'll go save everything somewhere. Will he do that? No. What will he do? Come on, buy one car, buy one house, buy something for your parents, whatever your mom wants, whatever dad wants, buy them. Go to 5-star hotel, amazing food in 5-star hotel. Completely start spending money like there is no tomorrow. Yes or no? Full-fledged spending money, because money is unlimited. There is no stopping the money now. Money is coming to the bank account every single day, 10 crores. Imagine every single day you're getting 10 crores in your house. What will you do in your bank account? Amazing, no? Same thing happens in the case of your exponential growth. In the case of exponential growth, an organism, if he gets unlimited food, what will he do? Eat, sleep, reproduce. That is going to happen in exponential growth. Eat, sleep, reproduce will happen. Okay, nothing else will happen. See this. In exponential growth, resources of food and space available in an obvious essential for the unimpaired growth of a population. Ideally, when the resources are in habitat unlimited, each species has ability to realize fully its innate potential to grow in number, full unlimited growth, as Darwin observed while developing his theory of natural selection. Then the population growth in exponential or a geometric fashion. If the population of the size n, the birth rate, not total number of but per capita birth, are represented by B and death rate as your D, then the increase or decrease in the number, that is the density, during the until the time period will be represented as dn by dt is equal to nn. dn by dt is equal to rn. Okay, so dn by dt, that is the small change in population, is equal to rn. Okay, what is r? R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase. It is called as intrinsic rate of natural increase, and it is very important parameter choosing for assessing the impacts of the any biotic and abiotic factor on the population growth. To give you some idea about the magnitude of R value for the Norway rat. Okay, Norway rat R value is around, let's say, 0.015. Okay, 0.015. For floor beetle, it is around 0.12. Okay, for humans it is about 0.0205. Now all this is okay, but what exactly is R value? I'll tell you in a very easiest way. Understand what is R value now. Okay, for example, students, there are some students who has a lot of money. Okay. They will buy all the books in the world. They'll buy all the books in the world. They will buy all the expensive courses. They will buy private tutor. They will have all the test series. They will have everything in the world to clear the NEET examination, all the resources possible. But if they do not have the intention from the inside that I should do it, innate thing, they'll never be able to clear the NEET examination. The fire should come from the inside. Yes, all these resources are important, but the most important thing in your preparation is your dedication and your goal oriented attitude. It is like, yes, I will do it. That attitude is very important. That is called as intrinsic rate of natural increase. That innate thing is very important. Same thing, students, if I give up any type of organism all the resources, if it doesn't have the intrinsic rate of natural increase from inside, if it doesn't feel like reproducing, it will not reproduce at all. Okay, intrinsic rate of natural increase. Okay, it is an important parameter chosen for ascertaining impacts of the any biotic or abiotic factor on population growth. Okay, now this is for humans. R value given for your humans 0.0205. Okay, this is your exponential growth. Okay, now there is your integral form also. Integral form is given by NT equals, many questions, students, many questions will come from here. Let me tell you, from here questions will come. What is the R value? They'll ask you question, what is the R value? They'll ask you what is the integral equation. NT equals N0 e to the power of RT. N0 e to the power of RT. What is NT here? NT is the population density at time t. N0 is the population density at time 0. R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase. What is E? E is basically base of natural logarithms. Each and every point here is a PYQ. Many times they've asked you. They will keep asking in the future also. This is the most important. Very important. Okay, very important. Okay. Now can you see here? If you see the diagram here we have dm by dt is equal to Rn. This is your exponential growth. Can you see? No limit only, no limit. It is continuously growing and it is resulting in a J-shaped curve. Can you see? J-shaped curve. There is no limit. Population density will keep on increasing. Dm by dt is equal to Rn. N is the population density. R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase. Okay, dm by dt is equal to Rn. Okay. Population size or density is N. R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase. This one will come back. Sigmoid curve will come back to this one. Okay. Any species growing exponentially under unlimited resources condition can reach enormous population in short duration of time. Darwin showed how even a slow growing animal like elephant could reach the enormous number in absence of a check. No one is checking. It'll keep on growing. Okay. The following is an anecdote popularly related to the demonstrated dramatically. That's all. Elephant also can grow. Okay. Next thing is called as logistic. So is it visible? If it is, I think it's visible. If not, read your NCERT also. I'll read it one more time for you. Okay. What is logistic? See, in the case of your unlimited money, when I give to Sebastian spent entire money like there's no tomorrow. Kept spending. But instead of that is the dream. That is a dream. Okay. What is the reality? Reality is there is nothing called as unlimited money. In reality, the money is always limited. Yes or no? Instead of getting unlimited money, Sebastian will get a small pocket money. Now tell me, students, if Sebastian is getting 1000 rupees as pocket money, will he spend the entire money at one shot? Or will he spend the money in a very concise manner, planning wise? They'll plan nicely. Yes or no? Same thing happen in the case of logistic. It is limited. Okay. No population of any species in the nature has its disposal unlimited resources. Not possible at all to permit exponential growth. This leads to a competition between individuals for limited resources. For limited resources, there is a competition, obviously. I'll give a simple example, students. Okay. For example, in my house, my mother is bringing one chips packet. My mother is bringing a chips packet into the house. And I am there, my sister is there. I am there, my sister is there, one chips packet. What will happen now? Tell me, will there be a competition? Will there not be a competition now? So in nature also, resources are limited. When resources are limited, there is always competition for the same resource. Yes or no? Yes. So whoever is more competent, who is more fit, will get the chips packet. Yes or no? Who is faster will get the chips packet. Obviously. So that's what happens in the case of nature also. Okay. Eventually, the fittest individual will survive and reproduce. The government of many countries have also realized this fact and introduced various restraints with a view to limit the human population. In Rajasthan, I read a news. In Rajasthan, if you have more than 2 children, you cannot get government this thing. What is that? Job. So, hum do, hamare do. Right? So, you need to keep the population in check. Why? Because the resources are limited. Right? In nature, a given habitat has enough resources to support a maximum population number. Okay. For example, I will give you more example, students. For example, there is a family of 4. Family of 4. Okay. Family of 4. Every single night, they are making 4 chapatis, 1 for every person. There are 4 people in a family. Everyone is getting 1 chapati every single night. Okay. Now, what if in their house, one day, suddenly, relatives are coming without even giving a warning. Relatives are coming randomly. It happens in the house, no. Relatives will come to your house, randomly they'll come to your house. Okay. Now, in the house, there are 20 people, but there are 4 chapatis. Tell me now, is this enough? 4 chapatis, 20 people, not enough at all. That is called as carrying capacity. Same thing on the earth. On our earth, we have limited resources. Every single time, if the population is increasing more than the resource, there will be a decrease in population. Best example, COVID. COVID was a way where the population decreased in the world. Yes or no? Decreased. Right? Lot of natural disaster happens to keep the population decreasing. Okay. Now see here. Human population. In nature, a given habitat has enough resources to support a maximum possible number, beyond which no further growth is possible. Let us call the limit. Limit is called as carrying capacity K. Okay. Now, a population growing in a habitat with limited resources show initially a lag phase. See this. Initially, they will show this is your log. This is your exponential. This is your logistic. This is your logistic growth. Here it is called as logistic growth. Here we have dmdt is equal to Rn K minus n by K. What is K, students? K is basically the carrying capacity, the limit. Okay, because there is a limit here. Can you see? There is a limit here. Nothing can cross the limit. If it starts crossing the limit, the population will become constant. Now here we have something called as your, this is called as your lag phase. Lag, slow growth. Then we have, can you see this one? This part is called as log or exponential growth. Exponential. First there is a lag, then there is log. After log there is a asymptotic line. Asymptotic line, that is population is becoming saturated or constant. Here it is constant. So first we have a lag, log or exponential, and then we have a constant line. Okay. And this is a sigmoid curve. It is a sigmoid curve. This is a J-shaped curve. Okay. Now see here. A plot N, see here. In a population growing in a habitat with limited resources, show an initial lag phase. Initially there is a lag phase, okay, followed by a phase of acceleration, that is exponential growth, and deceleration, and finally a asymptote. Three different parameters: log, lag, log, asymptote. Okay. When the population density reaches the carrying capacity, a plot of n related to the time, a sigmoid curve. It will give you a sigmoid curve. A sigmoid curve. This type of population growth is also called as Van Herst-Pearl logistic growth. Logistic growth, Van Herst-Pearl logistic growth. It is given by dm by dt is equal to Rn, k minus n by k. K is the your carrying capacity. It is the carrying capacity. Since resources for the population for the most animal population are finite and become limiting sooner or later, logistic growth mode is considerable more realistic approach, because in nature there is nothing called as unlimited resource. Everything in this world is limited. Everything is limited. Your time also is limited. Okay, so logistic growth is more practical and realistic compared to exponential. Okay. Now, next thing, last topic students, life history variation. Population evolved to maximize the reproductive fitness, obviously called as Darwin's fitness. The whole point of evolution, the whole point of mutation, the whole point of changing is to make sure that our population is continuing. Yes or no? Plants are adapting to survive. Why? To increase the generation in habitat in which they live. Under a particular set of selection pressure, organisms evolve towards the most efficient reproductive strategy. Obviously, some organisms breed only once in their lifetime. Bamboo, right? Only once in their lifetime they breed. Salmon, fish and bamboo. While others breed many times during a lifetime. Birds and mammals. Some produce a large number of small sized offsprings. You might have seen, in that Mr. Bean, right? In Mr. Bean, you might have seen that in a bathtub he will get a lot of tadpoles. You might have seen, it will become frog. So in such an animals, to make sure the life continues, the offspring survive, they will produce a lot of offsprings, many hundreds. Frog. Even birds also, you might have seen, birds will lay a lot of eggs in their lifetime. Yes. Okay. Oysters, fish, while other produce a small number of large size offspring. Humans, see, humans will produce only 1 or 2 big baby. Okay. So, which is desirable for maximizing fitness? Ecologists suggest that life history traits of organisms have evolved in relation to the constraints imposed by the abiotic and biotic components, obviously. Okay, based on the biotic and abiotic factors, humans have evolved, organisms have evolved. Okay, in which they live. Evolution of life history traits in different species is currently an important area of research by ongoing ecologists. And with that, today's lecture is done. Now the only thing remaining is the question practice. First question on the board, solve it quickly, all of you. Solve it. First question on the board, all of you. First question on the board, quickly. Okay. Quickly, all of you. Quickly. Answer should come like in fast answer should come. This is a NEET 2024 question. Okay. The equation Van Herst-Pearl logistic equation growth model dm by dt is equal to Rn k minus n by k. What is k here? What is k? K is basically your carrying capacity. K is the carrying capacity. Tell me, easy 4 marks? Easy 4 marks, no? Tell me, difficult question? No. Ecology is easy. It's only a matter of reading the lines of NCERT. Fourth option. Easy. Next one. The population growth is in a habitat with limited resource. Logistic. Okay, logistic will show a lag followed by acceleration and decrease and final asymptote. Okay, yes, correct. Log phase. Ability to realize its innate potential to grow in number and reach enormous densities? No. That will happen exponential. Is it called as exponential? No. It is called as logistic growth. So A and D, yes or no? A and D. Easy question. Easy answer, easy question. Now next question you see. This is again a PYQ. All of you can see this question. If not, I'll read for you. Now logistic. In logistic, what do we have? logical, limited resources, limited resources. So A is 2, A is 2. Exponential, unlimited resources, unlimited resources. B is 1. B is going to be 1. Okay. Expanding age pyramid, expanding. The percent individuals of pre-reproductive is largest, followed by reproductive and post-reproductive. Yes. The expanding one, triangle. The pre-reproductive is higher compared to others. Stable. Percentage of individuals of pre-reproductive and post-reproductive are almost same. Almost same. What is the answer? Answer is A is 2, B is 1, option number 2. Option number 2. Which of the following is the correct equation of the exponential growth? Integral form. Integral form. Nt is equal to n naught e to the power of rt, right? E to the power of rt. This, I don't know what is this. n naught nt is equal to e to the power n naught e to the power of rt. Cross into question. Next question. A population in finite resources. See, finite means what, students? Finite means log phase, log. Okay, log. Okay. Curve where the correct sequence event will be. First stationary, no. First acceleration, no. No. First we have lag, acceleration, deceleration, asymptote. Asymptote. 4. Students, do you think all of you are able to answer the questions very easily or not? Tell me, students. Are you able to answer the questions easily now? It's all about NCERT lines. NCERT lines, well. Okay. Next question. In the exponential, see, exponential growth curve, nt is equal to n naught e to the power of rt. What is e? What is e here? Natural logarithm, I told you, natural logarithm. Base of natural logarithm. Exponential logarithm, not exponential logarithm. Exponential logarithm, right? Let's cross check. Let's cross check. Natural logarithm. That's why I told you, natural logarithm, not exponential. It is natural logarithm. Answer is given wrong, students. Natural logarithm. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Why they have given exponential? No. It is natural logarithm. It is natural logarithm. Okay. Correct. No, correct. See, natural logarithm only. Correct. The process of growth is maximum during. Where do you see maximum growth? In lag, senescence, dormancy, or log? I told you. First we have lag, then we have log, also called as your exponential, also called as your acceleration, and then we have deceleration and asymptote. So log. Okay. And that's it, student. That's it. That's today's class. This is my Telegram. All of you know that is Baswara Sir Biology. You can join. You can find a Telegram message. Baswara Sir Biology. All the notes will be available here. All the notes will be available right here. So download the notes, study, and I feel the last 3 hours of your life you have understood something better. NCERT lines are more clear to you, yes or no? So we will do the part 2 in the coming week. Part of the coming week where I'll be teaching you something called as your interactions, commensalism, amensalism, all that in the next class. Now students, I'm telling you again and again, I have made you solve very less questions right now. Very less questions. I'm telling you again and again, all of you who wrote exam last year, you will realize that the main mistake which you're doing is not solving enough of questions. I give you some questions right now, but you need to solve a lot of questions on your own all the time. Every single day, you need to solve minimum to minimum. How many questions, students? 100 questions. Every single day, minimum to minimum 100 questions. Every single day. And I'm telling you again, the best way to do is join by a test series. Talk to your parents. Tell them, Dad, in my preparation I need 1500 rupees or 1000 rupees for test series. So join test series right now. If you want test series by Vedantu, which I have only made, and I made some good questions, link is in description. Go join a test series right now. Okay, and all of you know Tatva book offer is going on, so go find Tatva books. And with that being said, students, thank you for today's class, and I enjoyed today. Let me know in the comment section. All of you are not commenting nowadays, so let me know in the comment section how was today's class. Okay, and I will see you in the next class. Going to be Telugu channel, okay. Okay, thank you so much, students, for today's class. Bye bye. Take care, all of you. Good night, and I will see you in the next class. Bye bye. Do not forget to let me know in the comment section how was today's class. Take care, all of you. Bye bye.